giving Miami the overtime victory. The Dolphins are 2-0, and Marino has yet to throw a touchdown. Back to the colorful and life action, Kevin and Jerry.
All right, James, thank you. Second down, 8 yards to go. Barber goes in motion, and Brown goes the opposite way and throws to his wide receiver, Chris Callaway. He's led the team in receiving the last couple years. He picks up 11 yards, and he gets the Giant first down.
He's throwing the slant, but the people on the inside, these people are all going to run digs, trying to eliminate any underneath coverage. You can see the underneath coverage going inside, just opens it right up. And Chris Callaway is still Dave Brown's favorite receiver.
Just a note on that Oilers game, they've been in overtime now 2 consecutive weeks. They beat the Raiders last week, but they lose in Miami today. And off to Charles Way, who takes it up. A great blocker in the pocket, but he does so many things so well for this team, including last week with the pass of 62 yards from Brown.
I was kind of laughing when I was watching him run on that long play. He needed about another 2 days of oxygen to get that one any farther, but good full. Hey, and both backs from Virginia. Charles Way from Virginia, like Tiki.
They were teammates for a year. No score here in the first quarter. Second down and 8. Barber goes in motion. So 2 receivers at the top of your screen now. Barber comes back the other way. Down again. Loggeman hits, and that's a fumble and recovered by the Giants at the 30-yard line. And jumped on by Charles Way as Jim Fossil didn't know what happened on that one. Jeff Loggeman was there and made the hit on Dave Brown. Loggeman, the former Jet.
Well, it's a mismatch. Loggeman right here, he's on the left tackle, Scott Gregg, and that's not a good matchup. He gets outside, keeps on, and there was a good effort by Scott Gregg. He was trying to push him by the hole, They're trying to decide whether it was an incomplete pass. If he was coming forward with his arm, it will be an incomplete pass.
That's what the flag is on the field for right now as you take a look at Jim Fossil. And back we go to the field with Dick Hansen.
There is no intentional grounding on the play as a receiver was in the area. Incomplete pass, 3rd down.
See, if he's outside the tackles and throws it like that, he's okay. Inside the tackles, he's got to be careful.
Well, he's definitely inside the tackle, so we have to find the receiver that Dave Brown found. Well, that's a good play by Dave, because I can't see the receiver trying to catch that ball.
Brown now will face 3rd down and 8 from the 33-yard line. A 5-man rush coming at Brown, who throws incomplete downfield. He was aiming for Thomas Lewis, a one-time starter, and once again Brown and the Giant offense can't do the trick, and they've got to give it away to the punt.
Well, I could tell there that Brown thought the receiver was going to keep coming to the inside. And again, what they've changed in New York is their routes now are adjustable, where in the past you just called a route and you ran it. And he thought the receiver was going to keep on running into the center, and he did not do that.
Reggie Barlow awaits the Brad Maynard punt. 3rd punt for Maynard. In fact, both teams have had it 3 times, and each team has punted each possession. Maynard gets a nice kick into it, and a fair catch made at the 21-yard line by Reggie Barlow. So a 46-yard punt against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we're still scoreless. 87 degrees here in Jacksonville today. We're scoreless. Each team has had it 3 times, and each team has punted 3 times. Well, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It all starts with America's most watched pregame show. Then catch the Cardinals battle the Redskins and the Rams clash against the Broncos, or other regional action. Coverage beginning at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox. On a 1st and 10 handoff, it's James Stewart with a gain of maybe a half yard. He actually beat out Natron Means last year in training camp, but then he got hurt midseason. Means came in and carried him through the playoffs, and Stewart.
There's a hobble there. By staying in the ball game. Very, very concerned. Jacksonville, they're going to probably wait to get on the other side of the 50-yard line.
Quarterback Steve Matthews, only here for a little over 2 weeks, knows about 50% of the playbook.
It's audible now. That's a good sign. That's his first audible. It is a pass.
Second down and about 11 to go for Matthews. He throws a strike to his tight end, Pete Mitchell, who actually played for Tom Coughlin when Coughlin was the coach at Boston College. He picks up 7 yards there. That sets up third down and about 4.
And what Matthews will do when he sees the 2 linebackers instead of 1, then he throws it. If he was gone and not there, then he would run the football. So it's the old story. They tried to teach him how many people were from tackle to tackle, and then he could audible off of when he counted up whether there were 6 or 5 people in there. 75. Counted up 6, so again he went back to the pass.
Third down and 4. Good call. You're reading them, and here goes Matthews, who's being read well by the Giant defense. And look out, there's a fumble on the play, and the Giants have recovered at the Jacksonville 27. Keith Hamilton made the punch, and then jumping on the loose ball may have been Marcus Buckley, and it's the first turnover of the game, and Jacksonville coughs it up to the Giants.
Well, the Giants are getting done what they want done. They're forcing this young quarterback to go to the pass by the look. And there's a good offensive line at Jacksonville, but the Giants are swarming, getting penetration. They're all over this young quarterback.
This is what they did last week.
Absolutely.
The Detmer and Rodney Peete of Philadelphia.
Keith Hamilton, he's the one that flushed him and chased him and hits him and causes the fumble.
The Giants will begin with a couple tight ends and an empty backfield as Wade goes in motion. First and 10 from the Jacksonville 27. Brown right down the middle, and it's caught at the 4-yard line.
I don't know if he had the ball long enough,
By
Kevin.
the rookie Ike Hilliard, a #1 pick out of Florida with a sensational catch. He made a great catch last week, a terrific over-the-middle catch. And there is his second catch as a pro, and he got knocked woozy, and there he goes to the sideline of the Giants.
Again, the people here in Jacksonville didn't think he had the ball long enough. Loeb, he's got it right there. I think his back hit the ground with the ball inside. Let's take another look.
Terrific catch by Hilliard.
That's a catch. That's a catch.
And then he got the knee to the head, much like Steve Young got the knee to the head last week in Tampa, which resulted in a minor concussion.
There's a guy with speed, and that's something that the Giants didn't have. They didn't have enough people that could run fast. And Ike Hilliard, he can run, and Tiki Barber, 2 young rookies that changed the whole deal of this football team. Trying to get his helmet off, see if his neck's hurt.
Amani Toomer will take the place of Hilliard. Callaway is in the bottom of your screen. First and goal on the 4 in a scoreless first quarter. Brown to Tiki Barber, and he's in for the Giant touchdown. So New York cashes in on a fumble by the Jacksonville Jaguars as they assist Ike Hilliard on the sideline, and his second touchdown in as many weeks for Tiki Barber.
And he actually scored that touchdown. He did not run where the play was called. That's what he does best. Bends back, sneaks around. Supposed to go left, came right for the touchdown. What bothered me there is they're looking at Ike Hilliard's jaw. The doctor was looking at his jaw on Ike Hilliard on the bench.
Brad DeLuiso tacks on another point. 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Jacksonville fumbles, a 23-yard pass to Hilliard, then a touchdown run of 4 by Tiki Barber. It's 7-0 Giants. Well, the youngest team in the NFL got contributions from 2 of their young rookies who they like. Tiki Barber right there, then a 23-yard pass to Ike Hilliard, took him inside the 4 on a nice pass by Dave Brown.
Isn't it amazing how speed makes you look like a better coach? Once you get some people that can run and outrun and make their own cuts and make some good fast decisions, your team becomes better.
Giants start 5 rookies. 12 players made their NFL debut last week. Here's the kickoff by Brad DeLuiso. Again, he drives Bucky Brooks 8 yards deep in the end zone. So DeLuiso doing a nice job on his kickoffs. That helps the Giant defense. Let's go back to the touchdown.
This is a lead. This is Charles Wade. He says, show me the way. But watch Tiki. With his speed, he doesn't like it, and he'll bounce to the right where the play is not designed to go. Nope, too crowded, goes out and gets a touchdown. That's the things the Giants could not do without having speed and cut backs.
That's a rookie making that kind of read.
Well, that's something I don't think it takes experience. I think, Kevin, you're either born with that or you're not. I don't think you teach people how to run like that. That's a good draft pick.
Well, they had a lot of good draft picks this year. One of the best drafts, in fact, the Giants have had in a long time. Jacksonville has it, first down and 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line. Matthews with a little play fake. And then feeds it outside Jimmy Smith, who makes a great move, and the emerging star out of Jackson State is finally knocked out of bounds by Thomas Randolph, who's in there for Philippi Sparks. A gain of 21 on the play. Played every game with this team, Jimmy Smith has.
Watch this offensive tackle. The guy we interviewed, a giant of a man, Basili. He throws, and here comes the lineman coming out. There's Ben Coleman. And that was a throw on 1st and 10, but not downfield, right down the line of scrimmage. So they're still being kind of conservative. They're behind now. They're going to have to open it up.
They wanted to really establish the run today, but it has not worked out that well. And it's 1st down and 10 yards to go. Matthews with time and going deep and looking for McCardell. And he makes the catch. A great grab inside the 20-yard line. Thomas Randolph was right there. And a big strike and a gain of 43 yards.
What a catch. Matthews sort of out threw him, and McCardell just chased it down and never gave up on the ball. From standing up here, it didn't look like he was going to get there, but credit Keenan McCardell for not giving up and stretching, leaning in towards it. What a great catch. Good coverage.
Smith and McCardell, one of the best tandems in the NFL. Christian Peter is in the game for the first time, making his NFL debut on that giant line. And a pass caught by the tight end, Pete Mitchell, who picks up 4, and Matthews looks like he's in a nice little groove right now as the Jacksonville quarterback.
Well, they really helped Matthews. They faked the screen to the defensive right side and then snuck the tight end, hoping the defense, the Giant defense chases fast. He's going to fake a screen there, and then this tight end is going to delay, hoping that the defense chases it. Fake screen. But 57's too smart. Corey Miller read it, saw the fake, came in there, and made the big play.
Giants sideline has just informed us that Ike Hilliard has gone to the Giant locker room, sprained neck, under observation. 2nd down and 6. Jacksonville down 7-0 from the 13-yard line of the Giants. And the draw play handoff to James Stewart, who runs into his own tackle, Leon Searcy. And he loses maybe a half yard on the play, setting up 3rd down and about 7.
Watch the fullback. His job was to make a hole, but he gets stuffed in the hole. This is Ty Halleck, and he's going to run right up inside.
Time has expired. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. A fumble by the Jaguars, a 4-yard touchdown run by Tiki Barber at 7-0 Giants, and the NFL on Fox will continue after these messages from your local station. We're back in Jacksonville where the Jaguars trail the Giants 7-0. There's been a lot of talk this week about maybe Jacksonville retaliating, getting back at Jesse Armstead for a hit that some felt may have been a little bit low, but others, you know, there was no flag on the play. He was not fined for the hit on Mark Brunell in the preseason, but nonetheless, that has been a story lingering throughout the week leading up to this game.
They just stuffed that last lead play. Jesse Armstead did a great job stuffing the fullback.
37 pass. And it's caught at the 11-yard line by former first-round Giant pick Derek Brown, who was a 1992 first-round pick, given up in the expansion draft in '95 by the Giants, and Jacksonville picked him up. Then he was injured in '95 with a kidney problem, came back and started last year, starting 14 games.
Well, he got sandwiched by both Corys. Corey Whitmer and Corey Miller both got after him, put a real good gang tackle on him and stopped him short of having any chance of making a 1st down.
So they're going to try for a field goal, and here's Mike Hollis. It's a 29-yard attempt. Holding will be the punter, Brian Barker, from the 19-yard line. As we said before, a bit of a cross breeze, but nothing real tough, and that is indicated by the right down the middle kick by Mike Hollis. So a 29-yard pass completion to Keenan McCardell sets up a field goal and some shoving after the play, as you can see, and this is part of the bad blood that supposedly exists between these two teams, and some shoving and pushing on the offensive line. That's Tony Baselli, number 71, and Keith Hamilton. We'll be back to Jacksonville right after this. Back here in Jacksonville with Jerry Glanville, this is Kevin Harlan. After beginning the game with 6 consecutive punts, 3 by each team, a couple scores, a 4-yard touchdown run by Tiki Barber of the Giants, and a 29-yard field goal by Mike Hollis, who sets to kick off for Jacksonville. And we've got a 7-3 ball game as we start the 2nd quarter. 14-14 in the 1st half. Hollis to kick off deep, and Thomas Lewis stationed at about the 1. And he goes about 4 yards deep, and he hesitates, but does decide to bring it out and staggers ahead and takes it out to the 18 of the New York Giants, and the tackle is made by rookie Kevin Devine. And there's a flag on the play. There have been no accepted penalties yet in this game. We've had some calls, but none accepted.
That's how I feel about your invitations to come over to your house. None accepted.
Stop sending them. Offsides on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and
we'll make them kick it over.
Why not?
Offside on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the kick.
Look at Dak Cantek. Before the game, Jerry Seaman, the director of officials, came in our booth and visited just a little bit with us. He spot checks a lot of these teams. He's refereeing teams and goes to a different game every week.
He's a guy that's totally dedicated to his job, tries to have the officials be, you know, the very best they can be. They're human. They do make errors. I noticed they made a lot of errors only against my teams. I asked him for a job, by the way. Did you notice that?
I liked his reply.
Yeah, he said, yeah,
don't call us.
We'll call you.
We'll call you.
Yeah, we lost your phone number.
Ike Hilliard again is in the locker room. They're looking at his jaw and his neck, and he is under observation. So Hollis sets to kick off 5 yards back at his own 25-yard line. DeLuiso has kicked off a couple times going from this same left to right direction, both times deep in the end zone. And Hollis, not known for his length, but improving as he goes on, got that last one in the end zone. And this is a deep kick. Look at this one. And Lewis again hesitates, then decides to take it out, and is taken down. The kickoff coverage for the Jaguars has been a huge story down here all week long. And that time some great coverage as the tackle was made by Jeff Kopp. And that will drive the Giants back, first and 10 at about their own 15-yard line. Hollis just kicked a 29-yard field goal.
Here's the field goal being kicked by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they get in a little shoving match here. Tony Basile, 71, gets in a little deal with Corey Miller, and they get a little argument there, and you can see he gets a shove in the back from Keith Hamilton. So that's what got that little fight going.
And a fumble by the Giants and recovered by Jacksonville at the 15-yard line. Tiki Barber took the ball, and Don Davey, the former Green Bay Packer, knocked it away.
And it was just a little straight handoff, but the ball got whacked.
It'll be the game's second fumble, but the first on the New York Giants, who had no turnovers last week against Philadelphia in the win.
They'll try to run off to your right. Nice hit. And all of a sudden you see a rookie rule make an error. There's a rookie error, not having hold of that football. But the Jacksonville Jaguars had good penetration and whacked him in the backfield. He wasn't ready to be hit that early.
Jacksonville has it first down, 10 yards to go at the 16-yard line, and Steve Matthews, who is at 5 consecutive receivers, hands off to Natron Means. Natron takes it down to the 11. You know, he had such a great rookie year and second year with San Diego. He made it to the Super Bowl with the team, came back after a long contract holdout, was injured with the Chargers, didn't see eye to eye with Bobby Ross. They let him go, and 12 days later, Jacksonville picks him up. And like we've said before, he was a key cog in this machine down the stretch.
And people were mad at him. They said he got overweight, said he didn't want to work, and his mama said, you know, he's a good guy. We just got to get him redirected. His mother came in, hollered at him, screamed at him a little bit, and he went on and had that great season.
That usually does the trick. Second down and 5 to the end zone. Matthews, and it is caught and then juggled and out of bounds. He bobbled it as he was going out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass, and again looked very, very close on a pass to Jimmy Smith.
These officials are getting more close calls than I've ever seen, but I'll say this, that official was in position to see it. Now let's check his vision, because he can't be in any better position. He's right on the baseline, play action. That's a bam play. You got that's tough to make that call even with this slow replay.
Nope, it was a good call, because he did not have the possession of the ball. It was slipping out of his hands, as you can see. And as Jerry accurately said, the referee was right there to make the call.
Well, you can't fault the official when he gets in that kind of position and he's that close. Then you got to go with whatever he thinks happened that quickly.
Third down and 5, 7-3. The Giants lead Jacksonville, but a fumble by Tiki Barber has set up this great field position for Steve Matthews. From the 11, 3rd and 5. And he's got the first down to his receiver, Jimmy Smith, who has seen time as a starter on the gain of 6 right there since the departure of Andre Rison. When Rison left, Smith was the guy and had a great season.
And if you go back to the good ball that Steve Matthews is throwing, it's always on the out route. And again, he has good velocity. We said in the open he has a strong arm but doesn't know many plays. Watch the strong arm on the out route. You got to have an arm to gun this. Left-hander, good protection by Vasily. No chance for the defensive back to drive on that ball. That's Randolph. Randolph, the ball there's no breaking time.
So 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Jaguars. They've got Means in the backfield with a couple of tight ends. And the handoff goes to Means. And he gets as far as the 3, where it'll be 2nd down and goal. Means has that low center of gravity.
What did he decide on that? He decided to cut before he read it. That's why the coach was mad. They came with 2 tight ends. They got 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, and he'll cut. He's supposed to be reading the first down lineman to the left, which would not have given you an outside read on that. So Natron, he decided he was cutting outside before he really read the guard's block. He should have been reading Ben Coleman's block, and that would have brought him inside.
Best reporting weight when he came to training camp. Stayed in this area throughout the offseason to work in the offseason program, and it's paid huge dividends as a timeout is taken by Steve Matthews. So it's the first timeout by the Jaguars. 11:39 to play in the 2nd quarter. The Giants 7, Jacksonville 3. The Jaguars in great scoring position right now inside the 5 of the New York Giants. A Tiki Barber fumble at the 16-yard line of the Giants set up this Jacksonville possession right here. And there you can see some red zone offense by Jacksonville. Now it has gone down. They've hired a new offensive coordinator with the Jaguars, Chris Palmer, who is the tutor for Drew Bledsoe up in New England. 2nd down and goal at the 3-yard line. 7-3, Giants on top. McCardell goes in motion. And Matthews to the end zone. Tapped and intercepted, and a flag is there. Corey Whitmer has it on the carom. Armstead got a hand on it. And Armstead had a huge game last week, but everything is pending the flag that was thrown on the play. And the Jaguars tell us it's against the New York Giants.
Well, you can't have pass interference if the ball was tipped. If the man in the end zone is signaling pass interference and the ball was tipped on the line, he's got to eat that flag. So they have to get together and decide if the ball's tipped, you can't have a pass interference, and that would make it an interception.
Defensive interference, number 23, prior to the ball being touched. Prior to the ball being touched, the infraction took place in the end zone by rule.
Let's see if
it is placed on the 1-yard line. First down.
This is Randolph, 23. Oh, he's got a hold of him. Put his arm around him. So the interference came before the ball was tipped. That's why you get the penalty.
And negates a nice play by Jesse Armstead.
And a nice job by the officials knowing that the interference was prior to the ball being tipped.
So with the penalty, 1st and goal at the 1. Following the block by Ty Halleck. It's a run by James Stewart in the 3rd year back out of Tennessee, and a former number 1 pick back in '95 can only get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Wonder why you come in the goal line situation and come in with Stewart rather than Natron Means.
New defensive coordinator John Fox, who resigned from the Raiders 2 games before the '96 season. He's installed a new defensive system, and last week it paid huge dividends with 9 sacks on Philadelphia quarterbacks.
Called an out charge for the defense, so he's looking for an outside play. I saw the signal.
But it goes inside, and Stewart leaps in for the touchdown. And Jacksonville takes the lead with 10:52 and a half. Mark Brunell and offensive coordinator Chris Palmer there in the foreground. Capitalize on a giant fumble from Tiki Barber and go in. Ben Coleman gave a nice block on the left guard.
We think Ben Coleman's probably their best offensive lineman, but they caught the Giants in and out charge. I saw the man make the signal, the defensive coordinator, and they made an out charge, and that allowed the inside lead to be a touchdown.
Mike Hollis now will try the extra point with 10:52 to play in the 2nd quarter. snap pulled down by Barber and put up by Hollis. So the Jaguars cash in on a fumble by the Giants, and now it's a new game. It's 10-7 Jacksonville over New York. Well, the new Jacksonville offensive coordinator, Chris Palmer, certainly had his hands full. Of course, he thought he was going to get Brunell and Rob Johnson. He's had a couple guys off the waiver wire that have come in, but those guys have given him some stability at that position. Jacksonville, after a New York fumble, goes in on 6 plays and 16 yards on a Stewart 1-yard dive, and Mike Hollis' extra point makes it 10-7 Jacksonville. Lewis awaits the Hollis kickoff, and every kickoff that has gone from left to right today has gone in the end zone. Let's see if we can make it 4 in a row. 2 by Daloiso, and now 2 by Hollis. And this time, Lewis, who is hesitant the first 2 times coming out of the end zone, decides to go to it. Now, Jerry, on that previous play on the touchdown, you said you read the defensive call by John Fox. He said everybody should go outside looking for an outside play.
Yeah, we saw his hand signal. Watch these 2 tackles. Very seldom you send both tackles outside, but he probably thought it was going to be a toss sweep, and so he made an out call and leaves the linebackers inside for the lead, and that allows the touchdown right up inside. Sometimes you guess right, sometimes you guess wrong.
It's a good call by Chris Palmer, and even Mark Brunell said, yeah, I can appreciate that. He, by the way, will be out until probably late September, early October. He got the ACL, the MCL, and the PCL torn and ripped a little bit in the game against the Giants as a pass going outside to Amani Toomer is incomplete on 1st and 10. Right now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Kevin and Jerry, first score in the Green Bay game came as a result of this 29-yard strike from Brett Favre to Robert Brooks. That set up a Ryan Longwell 22-yard field goal. Packers up by a foot, 3-0. Back to Kevin and Jerry.
Giants got him on a couple long passes last week in that Philadelphia game. 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. And the pitch out goes to Charles Way, and Way takes it on the sideline and comes up with a nice gain of a 13-yard run on the sideline. They thought so much of Way in the preseason and what he's done the previous couple years. They signed him to a big contract. A lot of people, Jerry, feel that he might be the very best player on the Giants team.
Well, right then, it kind of surprised me. If you got Way in there, you think you're going to get pass protection or inside run. So, you know they like him when they go out and run the toss sweep into the wide side of the field with their blocking fullback.
Gets a first down. First down's been very hard to come by for both teams today.
It's a pass all the way, Kevin.
What tips you off?
The back's shifted over there to the tight end side.
You called it. 2nd down and 10 pass by Brown. Slapped back in his face. Lageman was there. Jerkovich got a hand on it. Clyde Simmons was coming up the middle. And the former Packer Jerkovich may have led the charge.
And the formation is sort of giving the Jacksonville's a little tip-off here. You see the back is offset to the tight end, and when he went into motion, it left no place to run the football. And Way tried to get a piece of him also. Charles Way was trying to help Ron Stone, and Jurkovic coming right up through there.
2nd down and 10 pass to Barber. He finally juggles it. Is it a line ball? The Jaguars think so, and it's picked up by Beasley, but they've blown the ball dead. An incomplete pass on the right sideline to the rookie Tiki Barber.
Notice how fast these plays come up. We try to show you a replay, and the Giants have a whole new tempo. The Giants' tempo, they try to run plays quicker and faster, and they're getting them off probably 10-15 seconds quicker than they did last year.
Jim Fossil said as he was offensive coordinator for many defensive head coaches, the coach would want quicker plays, so he was used to a fast tempo, and of course that has sped things up for the Giants and Dave Brown, who last year, Jerry, were caught many times at the line of scrimmage with delay of game.
And what he does is he's got the play, the next play for the quarterback. As they're doing this play right here, if they get a first down, he's already got the play ready to go for the quarterback.
Although they go right to the end right there. A 3rd down and 10 pass is almost picked off and incomplete. Aaron Beasley, and a flag thrown back at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's funny. We just get done telling you how quick they are, and they get a delay game penalty. We're not bragging on them anymore.
But they said it was something that began in minicamp, and the penalty flag is against the New York Giants. And the punting unit led by rookie Brad Maynard will take the field.
2 men, 80 and 89, moving at the same time prior to the snap. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Too many men moving at the same time.
Pretty good day so far for the rookie from Ball State, Brad Maynard. 3 punts and 51-yard average. And deep back Reggie Barlow, who is a backup wide receiver. We're just into the second quarter. 10-7 Jacksonville's on top. And Maynard's punt is a huge rocket that sends Barlow back to the 10-yard line. And then he is brought down at the 17 by backup wide receiver David Patton. A 57-yard punt by the rookie Maynard. Over 50 yards today on 4 kicks. It's 10-7 Jacksonville. Well, the Giants like to rotate their defensive line, and making his NFL debut after being inactive last week, the Nebraska rookie Christian Peters, somewhat of a controversial pickup by the Giants. Didn't play last year, but does now, and has played a couple plays already in the game today.
It was real controversial with Dan Reeves. Dan Reeves said he wasn't ever informed they were ever going to bring him or even talking to him. So that guy's got a little history before he ever made a play.
Jacksonville, first down and 10 yards to go for their 18-yard line, and the handoff goes to Natron Means for a pickup of 4. Second down and 6. Well, you know, the New York Giants, with Peter making the tackle right there, Jared, we talked about it before, 5 rookie starters last week and 12 players making their NFL debuts. This is the youngest team in the NFL, and rarely have you found a Giant team that has had this many young players at one time making this kind of impact. Barber last week, and Garnes had the 95-yard interception for a touchdown. They are really trying to infuse a lot of youth. Second down and 6, and the ball knocked down. Great pressure put on by Jesse Armstead.
Get on that ball. That could be a lateral. That's not good football by those 2 players. Now they're starting to figure it out. That ball could have been considered a lateral. Both players should have got after that ball. Talking, of course, about Jimmy Smith. He's walking around. Now look, if he throws this ball backwards, this is a lateral. And it's a lot by what's a lateral? It's a live ball. Anybody can recover it.
Ellsworth and Massey are now in as the dying secondary takes hold for John Fox's new defense. Third down and 6. James Stewart is in the backfield with Steve Matthews making his first NFL career start today. Matthews hit as he throws, and the pass is caught by Jimmy Smith, and good for a first down to the 31-yard line. He was covered by Thomas Randolph, and Matthews looks like he's picking up some momentum.
Not only that, he's picking up a blitz by himself. Nobody else did. You're going to see the defensive back
Tito Woot
run right free and clear. Matthews sees him. Again, what route is it, Kevin? It's the out route. I think that's what he's going to be successful in. Every time he makes a big play for Jacksonville, it's the out route. So if you're at the New York Giants, you can adjust your corner play because of that.
First and 10 from the 30, and Matthews out of the pocket again. Vaselli trying to hold on to Russian Brodsky, and it's a pass with a flag thrown on the play, and they catch it at the 41-yard line. Reception made on the play by Keenan McCardell, but that flag was thrown at the 38.
Matthews could not throw this football because of the great coverage.
That's against
holding.
the Jaguars.
Defense number 27. Holding. Offense number 71. Penalties are offset. Repeat the down. First
and
down.
The Giants. Both teams got a penalty.
The Giants did a good job on defense. They played man-to-man, bump and run, but he's got a safety over the top, so if he gets away, he's okay. No sense holding when the safety's over there, and he's supposed to play underneath every route. It's called inside underneath. They keep you from throwing, and he's got deep help over the top. Nice call by the defensive coordinator.
So we go back from whence we started, from the 31-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. 10-7 Jacksonville on top, and Natron Means takes the ball and moves a pile to the 33. Picks up 2 yards. Tackle made by linebacker Corey Miller.
And Natron Means looks like he was waiting for a guard. He was looking for somebody to pull. Whenever you have two tight ends in the game with one back, the linemen have to lead. And watch Natron. He's wondering, where do they go? Where do I go? No hold. Good defense. Everybody up front for the Giants winning. Corey Whitmer, the linebacker, in there helping out.
Second down and 8.
Corner blitz.
Here comes Sehorn, and there goes Matthews running for his life, and he throws it out to Natron Means, who takes it by midfield into the Giant 47. Tackle was made by Corey Miller. It's a gain of 20 yards, and I don't know how the quarterback, Matthews, got out of there.
Here's the defensive corner, Jason Sehorn. His wide receiver just got covered up by a safety, allowing the corner. There's nobody ready to pick him up, but he didn't get the quarterback in time. Big play by Natron. Nice job by Steve Matthews, feeling that corner coming untouched.
Matthews has had a nice beginning of this game, 10-16. We told you his first career start. Picked up on waivers from Kansas City, where he didn't play at all, behind then quarterback Steve Bono and then Rich Gannon.
He did get some experience in that World League.
He played a lot in the World League. Means in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Means, who picks up a meager yard, setting up 2nd down and 9. This offensive line of Jacksonville, Jerry, everyone thinks that Dallas has the biggest line in the league. Jacksonville actually has it in terms of size and weight.
They're not only big, when they break the huddle, they block out the sun. And you got, I thought Tony Basile, the left tackle, was big. Then you look at Ben Coleman. He's bigger at the guard. And then you look at Leon Searcy, the ex-Steeler. These people are huge. But I don't like Natron Means. He's looking to do something before it should. He's not forcing the run first. He's cutting before he should cut.
2nd down and 9 handoff, and the flea flicker as Means gets it back to Matthews, who goes deep, and double covered is the wide receiver Smith, and it's incomplete. Wooten was there, and Thomas Randolph was in the vicinity. There are no flag. Oh, there is a flag back near the line of scrimmage at the 44. And it's against the New York Giants.
They probably call on a flea flicker. If they call roughing the quarterback, that's tough on a flea flicker. That's like a halfback pass. You should be penalized.
Personal foul. Defense, number 97, late hit. 15
Barber
yards
Harris
additional.
on the defensive line for defensive coordinator John Fox picks up the penalty.
Now, this is a tough penalty. I always believed if it's a halfback pass or a flea flicker, you should say all bets are off. You got your defensive line running all that, and they still get you for a late hit. Robert Harris.
So the penalty puts Jacksonville at the 30-yard line of the Giants. Jacksonville leads it by 3. We're in the 2nd quarter with 5:59 to play, and here goes Matthews to the end zone and going deep for McCardle, and it's incomplete. He was stride for stride with 31 Jason Sehorn. It's an incomplete pass.
Okay, why are you passing? You got a 1st and 10 at the 32. If you're a Jacksonville fan, if you're sitting in New York wondering what's going on, it's the fronts that the Giants are using. They had everybody up on the line of scrimmage. There's absolutely no place to run. The Giants are doing a good job making this young quarterback throw, because you can't run against that 8-man front.
They wanted to establish the run coming into today. That was a goal all week long, is to get more work out of Means.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There they all are. You cannot run in there. You've got to let the quarterback turn it loose.
The 8th play of the Jacksonville drive is upcoming. They began this drive at the 17, and Steve Matthews has just burned his 2nd timeout. And so he'll go to the sideline and talk with Chris Palmer and the other members of that staff. There's number 12, Jim Miller. He was cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, last year he was a starter day 1 for the Steelers, and their coach Bill Cowher. In fact, he started in this stadium against Jacksonville and was yanked for Cordell Stewart halfway through the game.
A very high paid starter. Now he had to take a giant pay cut, much like not a giant, I shouldn't say giant playing the Giants, but I was surprised Dave Brown took a pay cut. So the quarterbacks on the field right now, they're not making all that big money.
Miller had one of the best comments I've seen from a player. He said, I always thought this game was 80% football and 20% business, but the reality is when you talk about free agency, it's 80% business and 20% football.
Well, the business in the football, has to do with your output too. I think if he was the starter, then he's back to making that money. There's Dave Brown. He told us he not only got married in the offseason, he took a pay cut, but he feels better about what they're doing. He thinks he'll be more productive.
So after the Jacksonville timeout, 2nd down and 10, Steve Matthews takes his team to the 31-yard line of the Giants. 20-yard pass play to Natron Means put him in this position. And the handoff goes again to Means. And he's to the 25. And tackled on the play by the linebackers. Bratsky was there along with Marcus Buckner.
All right, this time Natron has no cuts And that's what you have to run first and cut second. He was trying to cut. Now he's just running. Run first, cut second. We asked Jesse Armstead about the way he runs. He says he runs heavy. He's like a Bettis. He's hard to tackle, hard to bring down. Big man. You got to get low underneath him.
3rd and 4 from the Giant 25. Jacksonville 2 of 7. The blitz was on. The pass is caught underneath by Stewart, who crawls for a first down, taking it to the Giant 18-yard line. A nice play and a screen pass that was set up by Matthews' patience in the pocket.
And they ran a blitz off his blind sides coming right from here. So the blitz is coming from outside. They do a good job picking it up, and Basile let his man through. Close to having lineman downfield on that screen. That was close.
Matthews has had a great day passing, not only overall, but especially on 3rd down. As you can see, 5 of 7. First down and 10 on the 18-yard line in New York. Matthews again wide open as receiver Jimmy Smith, quickly out of bounds, but after a quick pickup of 9.
This is a different defense. The Giants ran a blitz again, so they're leaving your corner man to man, leaving him alone. They ran an inside linebacker. Watch this linebacker. He's going to loop around and break free for the quarterback. That's Corey Widmer breaking on the blitz, but the ball's coming out so fast. It's all 3-step drop throws.
On his first NFL start, Steve Matthews looking pretty good. Played at Memphis. Hand off on 2nd down. About a yard or 2 to go, and he runs up the middle and picks up yards just inside the 10 before Robert Harris makes the stop for the Giants. Just under 4 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Jacksonville leads 10-7.
Natron needs to come back and study this film. That time he's cutting before he has the ball, cutting before you need to cut. When he's successful is when he slams it in there 100 miles an hour and cuts after he gets moving. Right now on that last play, he's done that about 3 times. He's trying to cut before he even has the football.
Can't believe, though, a guy that big, it's easy to cut. Well, you see the game of the week next week. Yankees at Orioles, Giants at Marlins. Check the game and time in your area. That's next Saturday on the Fox Saturday baseball game of the week.
30-yard, big play here, Kevin.
Make it 2 on the 3rd down carry. Getting just inside the 9-yard line was Means. He needed to get near the 8. I think he's still going to be short on the blocking of left guard Coleman and center Dave Weidel. So Jerry, it's 4th down and probably the length of the football, and the clock at 3.5 to play. You lead by 3 against the Giants. You got a quarterback making his first NFL start. What do you do on a play like this?
Well, I myself would kick the field goal, but that's probably why I'm up here working with you.
Kind of wish you would have kicked the field goal.
Now the crowd's hollering to go for it, so we'll see if the coach will listen. Nah, he's a good football coach. He's gonna. Now he pulled the team back. He sent the kicker out and brought him back. Now if he doesn't make it here, all these people won't be his friend anymore.
So it'll be 4th down and about 1.
And they're standing here. All the people are standing up, Kevin.
Ball is firmly at the Giant 9. 3.5 to play. Jacksonville leads by 3. 13th play of the drive. As Matthews hands off to Means, who cuts outside to go in for the touchdown. 9-yard touchdown run by Natron Means.
And that was a great run. He took it north and south and then bounced it. Took it straight at him, Kevin, and then bounced it to the outside. What a nice run.
Natron Means, who had a touchdown run last week, gets his 2nd of the season, and Mike Hollis will try for the extra point. Means with a pretty good cut. We're just talking about his cutting ability, his ability to read. And it's all clogged up the middle, so he cuts outside and gets in for Jacksonville. Now leading with 3:12 to play in the first half. Hollis the extra point, and the Jaguars go on top 17-7 over the Giants.
We talked about the offensive line. Basile and Coleman. Watch these people block, and he'll go right north and south and then bounce it outside, but he takes it up in there. Up and in. There he goes. Doesn't believe it. Oh, man. Loss right there. Jason Seorn looking inside. I don't know who has outside contained, but there's the force man. And it looked to me like everybody got suckered inside. They thought that Means went right up inside and stayed there. And when he bounced outside, they had no force people outside.
So Coughlin's Jacksonville Jaguars scores 17 unanswered points after Fossil's Giants had gone up 7-0 on a 4-yard touchdown run by Tiki Barber on that drive. 13 plays. Means had a 20-yard reception and a 9-yard touchdown run. And New York and their offense sat on the bench for 6.5 minutes. Good-looking drive by a guy making his first start in the NFL, Steve Matthews, on the waiver wire 2.5 weeks ago.
Makes you wonder how many players are out there that never get a shot, never get a chance, could come in and be effective.
Well, I mean, is it the system or is it the quarterback?
Well, the players around him don't hurt him any. When you got an excellent offensive line, you got good receivers, you take the same quarterback starting on a team that doesn't have any players around him, and then you think, well, he can't play. But he's surrounded by a pretty good football team.
Hollis now at the line drive kick. It will go short, picked up by Charles Way inside the 20-yard line. And Way breaks a couple tackles, and he had a long run last week of 62 yards after a toss by Brown. And this time he gets it on a short hop and brings it out to the 47-yard line and gives him outstanding field position as they trail by 10. Well, tonight on Fox begins with Beyond Belief, followed by King of the Hill, The Simpsons, and The X-Files. That's all tonight beginning at 7, 6 Central right here on the Fox Television Network.
Watch the kicker, Hollis, trying to tackle Charles Way. That doesn't happen often.
Handoff goes to Way. He's the lone back, and on 1st and 10, he scrambles just to get a 2-yard gain to the 49-yard line. Hit by Don Davey on that defensive line, setting up 2nd down.
And Joel Smenji. Smenji was in on that. He sort of swings and splits time with the defensive line. Smenji was the guy that played for the New Orleans Saints. Came over here, and he's sort of the rest guy. He'll play a little right in, a little left in. Guy from Western Michigan.
They've got Way in the backfield on a 2nd down and 8, and Brown going deep and just off the fingertips of Amani Toomer. Incomplete pass. They've got Ike Hilliard in the locker room. They're still looking at his neck, which he injured in the 1st quarter. And interestingly enough, they've got Way, Jerry, in the backfield. And Jim Fossil has not given the ball back to Tiki Barber since he fumbled.
This was a double move. He ran an out and then an up, and sort of got away from Aaron Beasley, a pretty good corner. And you know what happens? Coaches get mad when rookies fumble, but you got to come back to him. He's too good of a person. He's got too much talent. You got to say that fumble's over. This is a passing formation again.
3rd and 8 on the quick count by Brown. The quick throw. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Clyde Simmons may have gotten a hand on it, number 96, and Tony Bracken's number 90 was in the vicinity. Clyde Simmons, one of the great all-time sackers, 12th all-time, 2 sacks last week. And the Jacksonville defense holds, and they're going to force a Giant punt.
This would be Clyde Simmons, and he was the guy that was designated this week to talk to the team. Oh, they moved him inside. There he was inside over the guard. The coach said, you're the guy. You give the pep talk. You talk to the entire squad. So Clyde that time was moved over Greg Bishop, the offensive guard.
3rd 3 and out, and a high punt by Maynard, and a fair catch signaled for and allotted to Reggie Barlow back at the 13-yard line. 2:16 to play in the 1st half. 17-7, Jacksonville on top. Folks, reminder, this game is presented by authority of the NFL and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the National Football League is prohibited. Sold out Alltel Stadium, formerly the Gator Bowl. They took the old structure of the Gator Bowl about 25 miles out to sea and sunk it, and now it's a great place for fishing.
Not all of it, though. There's a little bit left. There's a little
small portion still left here, but the majority of it is out to sea, out in the Atlantic.
I've thought about doing that same thing with you.
Some Sundays I wish you would. First down and 10 yards to go, and Stewart gets the call. Was directed right, cut left, and still couldn't find any room as the Giant defense was there. Armstead make the hit. Michael Strahan, coming off a great game last week, in fact his best game in about 2 years, make the stop. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars have scored 3 consecutive possessions, and they lead the Giants 17-7. I'm sorry, Coach, we're going to get in. A reminder, coming up at the Doctor's Khaki halftime, JB and Terry will bring you scores and highlights from around the league, and that's all coming up on the Doctor's Khakis halftime report. Here, we're at the 2-minute warning. We're at 17-7. Jacksonville leads 17 unanswered points by the Jaguar, and their young quarterback Steve Matthews with his NFL debut coming against the Giants today. On second down and 11, Matthews with great time throwing deep for McCardell with Jason Sehorn, and it goes incomplete. Sehorn, Jerry, emerging as one of the better corner covers in the NFL.
All kinds of athletic ability and good size. Why the ball went to Sehorn, they're going to roll up, take the flat, double the split in. And they know Sehorn is alone, so he has to be up to the task to shut this guy off without any help. No help whatsoever. Pretty much has him under control.
Thrown a lot to McCardell, 6 times in fact, with just 1 catch. And you can see the difference in Jacksonville's first half. 4 drives, 3 punts in those first 4 drives, and they've scored the last 3 times they've had the ball. Third down and 11. Matthews with pressure coming up the middle from Bratsky has to just throw it, and it's caught by Stewart, who got tangled up with Baselli. The 2 go down, and Jacksonville's going to have to punt deep in their own zone. And Giant defense led by Corey Miller coming up with a nice stop right there, and the Giants have taken a timeout.
What the Giants have done a good job of, they started this drive talking about Jacksonville with 2 minutes, and believe it or not, there's a minute 42 left, so they didn't. Jacksonville did a bad job on the clock, and the Giants did a good job.
There's Jim Fossil. A lot of people were wondering how the Giants, after their nice win with all this young talent, how this young team would deal with their sudden prosperity, how they would handle the win last week in a game a lot of people figured they would not win against Philadelphia. And the former Giant quarterback coach and offensive coordinator was very upbeat yesterday and said this team still has enough veterans on it to keep it at a very even keel.
Well, they turn over it down on your end of the end zone. That's probably why Tiki Barber hasn't got the ball back. That turnover in his own territory has changed the game and put him without being able to touch the ball.
Parker's punt caught by Amani Toomer, and here he goes now into Jacksonville territory and out of bounds near the 47-yard line. So it's going to be great position pending the penalty flag that was thrown. A 43-yard punt with a 6-yard return by Amani Toomer. Nick Hantak's crew discusses what's going on in the field. Natron Means sprained a knee, turned a knee, and they are still going to watch him as he goes to the locker room at halftime and give us an update when he comes out for the third
During the
quarter.
return on the kicking team, number 46, illegal hands to the face. We will penalize 5 yards from the end of the run. First down.
There's the injured Means. He's had a pretty good day, 13 carries with the touchdown.
And I saw him limping when he came off. He's not moving real good. Right there, they're calling hands of the face, and that's their starting fullback, Ty Halleck. And Ty is a good special teamer. Here's a guy that used to play for Detroit, got traded, and then quit, Kevin. Ty Halleck got out of football, retired, and then they brought him back, and he's doing a good job.
Jacksonville secondary numbering 6. The handoff in the first carry for Tiki Barber since he fumbled, which led to a Jacksonville score, and he picks up a quick 8 down to the 35-yard line. The Giants have 2 timeouts remaining. Jacksonville down to 1 as we wind down the first half. Excellent
field position here to get within 7 points. A field goal is big with a minute 16 left. Ran a little trap in there with Tiki. First time, as you said, touched it since he fumbled.
Second down and 2. Handoff to Barber with the flag thrown. Tony Brackens jumped on his back and brought him down. And Brackens, one of the emerging stars on this defense, out of Texas with the tackle. But the flag was thrown on the play with 1:06 to play in the first half. And this is against the Jacksonville defense.
Well, absolutely nobody put a hand on Tony Brackens. And he'll hurt your running back if he's allowed to run in there free.
Offside. Defense, number 52, also the 12th man on the field. 5-yard penalty. The result of the penalty is a first down.
Grant Boyer, they were trying to bring some people off and some people on, and Boyer got kind of caught in the middle.
Watch Brackens. He's turned loose, free to come down. And boy, when you try a cutback when the outside man's free, you're going to get a headache.
So 1st and 10 for Dave Brown. He gets a block. They get him as he throws it away at the last second to his tight end, Howard Cross, and it's a loose ball on the play and then recovered by the Giants. We have had no signal yet. Oh, that is a fumble against New York. And Jacksonville recovers. The Giants cough it up for the second time, and Jim Fossil's team has had trouble holding onto the ball today.
And Jacksonville came after him with a blitz. Watch the two backers. They're both going to loop on in here. Run a little X in there. They got him by the ankle. He throws out a good stick. Good hit by Aaron Beasley.
And their 1st-round pick out of Notre Dame, Ronaldo Wynn, jumped on it. I'm surprised Brown got it away.
I'm surprised that Cross doesn't hang on in there. When the tight end's getting hit by a corner, you got to be able to hang on that ball. That's not a safety hitting him. That's a starting left corner.
Well, they were slow to make the call if it was indeed recovered by Jacksonville, but indeed it is. Now I'm wondering what a guy who knows only 14 plays is going to do with 56 seconds on the clock.
I'm surprised they're not just trying to get off the field, but they're going to push her down.
1st and 10 in the throw, and it's caught down the middle. Willie Jackson makes his first catch today. The former Dallas Cowboy and the 4th-year receiver out of Florida comes up big. He takes it to the 46 and picks up 21 yards on 1st down.
A real nice throw right down the middle. They're playing zone. They gave up the inside. Talking about the Giants, they played everything outside. 3-man rush.
On the 46, a 1st down pass again, caught by Keenan McCardell. He's going to be a little bit shy. They pushed him back. He picks up 8 yards. That'll set up 2nd down and 2.
Hooks. There's the hand signal. They're going to run a hook.
Jacksonville with 1 timeout remaining. You see the clock down to 15 seconds. And here's Matthews trying to get in field goal territory. And he throws a pass which is right through the hands of Reggie Barlow, who moved into the rotation when they released Andre Rison a year ago, and he returns punts. That stops the clock. The incompletion does with 10 seconds to play.
He can still throw it down the middle because he has that timeout left, Kevin. So the Giants really have to also defend the whole field. They're in a 3-man rush trying to double the wide receivers, but he has the option to get it down inside and get his last timeout call.
I take it you've been impressed with Matthews today?
I'm kind of surprised because talking to him, he wasn't a guy that I didn't think he really wanted to jump in there and get it going.
3rd and 3 handoff goes to Gene Stewart, and they'll quickly call the timeout with 5 seconds to play as Stewart picks up 5 down to the 34.
And all they were trying to do is set up a shorter field goal. They gave the ball off there, so the field goal, get inside the 35. You got to be able to try. It should be like around a 51-yarder here.
Last year, Hollis, 50 yards and above, was 2 of 3. And his leg strength has always been talked about. Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime, JB and Terry will bring you scores and highlights from around the league, and it's all coming up in a matter of seconds from Los Angeles and the Dockers Khakis halftime.
Does JB wear those Dockers when he does the halftime? Well, they should make him put those Docker pants on.
I'd like to see you in a pair of Dockers.
JB, they got to get you in some Dockers.
Well, Hollis's career long 53 yards last year. Barker will hold. This will be a 52-yard attempt. Ryan Barker on the hold, and they've just called a timeout, the Giants have, and they burn their 2nd timeout, so they've got 1 remaining. Jim Fossil has had his share of working with great quarterbacks. With Arizona, the Raiders, worked with John Elway. In fact, recruited John Elway when he was a quarterback coach at Stanford, and then coached John Elway with the Denver Broncos a couple years ago.
I doubt that he's ever coached field goal rush, and that's who he's talking to now. He has lost some pounds. Looks like he lost 10, 11 pounds. That head coaching, you don't get to do much sleep.
Larry McDuff is a special teams coach, and so that's who they're conferring with right there.
They got two choices here. You can run an extra point block and take a chance they wouldn't run a fake and bring everybody after the kicker, or you got to run a field goal block, which means you're covering if it's a fake. So there's only two calls. You're either running an extra point block left or a field goal block left. And that's what they would be discussing with their defensive team.
What would you call?
I'd call extra point block and try to keep them off the board, and they'd probably run a fake and score.
Making a way to end this first half. It's a 52-yard attempt by Hollis. The wind is at his back. Parker on the hold.
It's away.
And he's got the distance, and it is good from 52 yards away.
And to answer your question, they had a field goal block they were playing in case it was a fake.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have 20 unanswered points to end the first half, capped off by a 52-yard field goal by Mike Hollis. That's into the first half. Jacksonville 20 and the Giants 7. JB and Terry will be along from the Fox Television Center with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages from your local station. Back in Jacksonville, where the Jaguars have scored 20 unanswered points. They lead the Giants at halftime 20-7. With Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan, you look at Jacksonville. They're starting a quarterback who makes his first NFL start today. I don't know if it's the system or the quarterback, but something's working down here in Florida.
Well, what I think it is, it's the parts, Kevin. If you look at their whole offensive team and their defensive team, we said that in the open. Excellent offensive line, two dominating wide receivers, excellent running backs, and I think, the quarterback can just play within himself. He doesn't have to go win the game.
For Dave Brown, it's been a struggle so far. In fact, the Giant offense has only held it for 9.5 minutes, 20.5 minutes time of possession for Matthews and the Jacksonville offense in the first half of play. Brown just 3 of 13. A couple turnovers by the Giants, too, have been painful, and Jacksonville has capitalized on both of those. There has been a big story, though, for the Giants in terms of injuries that occurred in the first quarter. It's our 1-800-COLLECT first half highlight as the first round pick out of Florida, Ike Hilliard, after this 23-yard reception from Brown, came down with the ball, gave him a 1st and goal, but took a knee and a shoulder to the head. He has now been taken to a local hospital with a neck injury. He is under observation. He was immediately taken off the field following that play. So that is of some concern, I'm sure, to Jim Fossil and the Giants as they line up against Hollis and the Jacksonville Jaguars for this second half. 20 unanswered points, Jerry, something we did not expect.
Absolutely not. And the turnovers, of course, when you give them that short field, when you give them a 25, 30-yard field, you're going to have problems. And Jacksonville has players.
So here we go now, starting the second half, and this kickoff by Hollis will drive Thomas Lewis 8 yards deep in the end zone, and New York will have to start once again at their own 20-yard line. First down and 10. And through the first 2 quarters, here are the numbers, and look at the time of possession to begin with.
That's the one, Kevin. The Jaguars with 20 minutes and only 9 minutes and 29 seconds. If you look at first downs, 13-5. This right now is not a pretty sight if you're living in New York.
So what do they got to do in the second half?
Well, I think what you got to do, you got to open this thing up. You got to throw the ball, and you got to be able to protect your quarterback.
Now with the 1st and 10, some play action, and with the rush of Lageman coming on, he dumps it off to Tiki Barber, who gets a gain of 8 out to the 28-yard line, forced out of bounds by former Pittsburgh Steeler Deion Figures. That is the Giants' first completion, Dave Brown's first completion today to a running back.
And that's what you have to do. If you're having trouble with protection, and Clyde Simmons was boring in on the quarterback again, throw some screens, try to slow him down, give him some easy throws, get your confidence, get yourself feeling good. Excellent call there by the Giants.
New York with 2 tight ends, 2nd down and 2 from the 28-yard line. Giants trailing 20-7. Pitch out goes to Way, and Lageman wraps him up and brings him down for a loss of 4 on the play. Great penetration by the former Jet Lageman.
Jeff Lageman is a guy who used to play for the Jets, and he can still play. He says, I'm getting a little older. I can't play full time now. I got to get somebody to spell me a little bit, but watch him come off the block. And that's a hustling football team. That's that toss sweep with Way trying to go outside that we wondered why they did that, but the coaches must feel he's got enough speed to get outside.
Lageman, a former #1 pick by the Jets, came to Jacksonville as an unrestricted free agent and really was one of the more vocal players when Tom Coughlin was initiating some of his more disciplinary type of routines during training camp.
But what he did say I liked, he says, I've never been with a team that has so few bad guys, no bums, all high character people.
Dave Brown will go over and talk with his coach. Timeout by the Giants, just minutes into the second half. Giants just took a timeout. Dave Brown visiting with his coach. 3rd down and 3 early in the 3rd quarter. 20-7 Jacksonville. Tiki Barber behind the Roman Oben block, and there's nothing there. Shut off beautifully on the play. Don Davey, Dion Figures, and Figures having a marvelous game with tackling today. Barber goes down, forcing the Giants to punt.
And kind of disappointing on a 3rd and 3. You're trying to run, but I thought they'd push the ball down the field. You're down 20-7. You're running on 3rd down. I don't think that says a lot that you got a lot of confidence in what you're doing offensively.
Brad Maynard has had a busy day. This is his 6th punt upcoming. He had 8 punts last week against Philadelphia, and there's Reggie Barlow. Back inside the 30 of Jacksonville. Another high, towering punt. From the 30 goes Barlow. By a couple Giants, then upended head over heels at the 38. A return of 7 yards after a 43-yard punt by the rookie from Ball State, Maynard. Jason Sehorn down there to make the stop. Jacksonville will get it for the first time in the second half. Where the Jaguars have scored 20 unanswered points. They lead the Giants at halftime 20-7. With Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan, you look at Jacksonville. They're starting a quarterback who makes his first NFL start today. I don't know if it's the system or the quarterback, but something's working down here in Florida.
Well, what I think it is, it's the parts, Kevin. If you look at their whole offensive team and their defensive team, we said that in the open. Excellent offensive line, 2 dominating wide receivers, excellent running backs, and I think, the quarterback can just play within himself. He doesn't have to go win the game.
For Dave Brown, it's been a struggle so far. In fact, the Giant offense has only held it for 9.5 minutes, 20.5 minutes time of possession for Matthews and the Jacksonville offense in the first half of play. Brown just 3 of 13. A couple turnovers by the Giants, too, have been painful, and Jacksonville has capitalized on both of those. There has been a big story, though, for the Giants in terms of injuries that occurred in the first quarter. It's our 1-800-COLLECT first half highlight as the first-round pick out of Florida, Ike Hilliard, after this 23-yard reception from Brown, came down with the ball, gave him a 1st and goal, but took a knee and a shoulder to the head. He has now been taken to a local hospital with a neck injury. He is under observation. He was immediately taken off the field following that play. So that is of some concern, I'm sure, to Jim Fossil and the Giants as they line up against Hollis and the Jacksonville Jaguars for this second half. 20 unanswered points, Jerry, something we did not expect.
Absolutely not. And the turnovers, of course, when you give them that short field, when you give them a 25, 30-yard field, you're going to have problems. And Jacksonville has players.
So here we go now, starting the second half, and this kickoff by Hollis will drive Thomas Lewis 8 yards deep in the end zone, and New York will have to start once again at their own 20-yard line. First down and 10. And through the first 2 quarters, here are the numbers, and look at the time of possession to begin with.
That's the one, Kevin. The Jaguars with 20 minutes and only 9 minutes and 29 seconds. If you look at first downs, 13-5. This right now is not a pretty sight if you're living in New York.
So what do they got to do in the second half?
Well, I think what you got to do, you got to open this thing up. You got to throw the ball, and you got to be able to protect your quarterback.
Brown with the 1st and 10, some play action with the rush of Lageman coming on. He dumps it off to Tiki Barber, who gets a gain of 8 out to the 28-yard line, forced out of bounds by former Pittsburgh Steeler Dion Figures. That is the Giants' first completion, Dave Brown's first completion today to a running back.
And that's what you have to do. If you're having trouble with protection, and Clyde Simmons was boring in on the quarterback again, throw some screens, try to slow him down, give him some easy throws, get your confidence, get yourself feeling good. Excellent call there by the Giants.
New York with 2 tight ends, 2nd down and 2 from the 28-yard line. Giants trailing 20-7. Pitch out goes to Way, and Lageman wraps him up and brings him down for a loss of 4 on the play. Great penetration by the former Jet Lageman.
Jeff Lageman is a guy who used to play for the Jets, and he can still play. He says, I'm getting a little older. I can't play full time now. I got to get somebody to spell me a little bit, but watch him come off the block. And that's a hustling football team. That's that toss sweep with Wade trying to go outside that we wondered why they did that, but the coaches must feel he's got enough speed to get outside.
Ogman, a former #1 pick by the Jets, came to Jacksonville as an unrestricted free agent and really was one of the more vocal players when Tom Coughlin was initiating some of his more disciplinary type of routines during training camp.
But what he did say I liked, he says, I've never been with a team that has so few bad guys, no bums, all high character people.
Dave Brown will go over and talk with his coach. Timeout by the Giants, just minutes into the second half. Giants just took a timeout. Dave Brown visiting with his coach. 3rd down and 3 early in the 3rd quarter. 20-7 Jacksonville. Tiki Barber behind the Roman Oben block, and there's nothing there. Shut off beautifully on the play. Don Davy, Dion Figures, and Figures having a marvelous game with tackling today. Barber goes down, forcing the Giants to punt.
And kind of disappointing on a 3rd and 3 you're trying to run, but I thought they'd push the ball down the field. You're down 20-7, you're running on 3rd down. I don't think that says a lot that you got a lot of confidence in what you're doing offensively.
Brad Maynard has had a busy day. This is his 6th punt upcoming. He had 8 punts last week against Philadelphia, and there's Reggie Barlow back inside the 30 of Jacksonville. Another high towering punt. From the 30 goes Barlow. By a couple Giants, then upended head over heels at the 38. A return of 7 yards after a 43-yard punt by the rookie from Ball State, Maynard. Jason Sehorn down there to make the stop. Jacksonville will get it for the first time in the second half. Are we doing next week on Fox here? No. With Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan, Jacksonville about ready to get it with the quarterback making his first NFL start. Steve Matthews saw his first action last week in taking the place of Rob Johnson, who has a high ankle sprain and is the 3rd quarterback today for Tom Coughlin. On their own 37, first down and 10 yards to go. And Natron Means gets the call over the left side, but nothing there. Nice tackle made by Thomas Randolph, a one-time starter and a one-time second-round pick out of Kansas State. But other players have come in there and taken his position. Now he's relegated to a backup, although starting now because of the hepatitis, viral hepatitis that has afflicted defensive back Philippi Sparks.
And I'm surprised Natron Means is in there. They took him to the locker room at halftime, said he had a knee injury, had a twisted knee on Natron Means, but he's back. Look at him. He's saying, what am I doing in here? He didn't run very hard on that last play.
Second down and 8, and the pass by Matthews, who's got great time to throw, and he's out of the pocket and being chased. He's got to get to the 47. He gets to the 48 and does pick up the Jacksonville first down. Shades of not only Rob Johnson, but of Mark Brunell, too.
Well, the play-action pass gave him all that time, and then when there was absolutely nowhere to go, the play-action freezes the pass rush. They think it's another run by Natron, and then Natron drifts out downfield down there, and he gets a little block. Gets a block right here to try to spring him, blocking on Corey Miller. And all the quarterbacks that line up for Jacksonville ended up being able to run a little bit.
That's a prerequisite for that position. As you see Brunell there and back at the tight end. Brunell is in the background. First down and 10 yards to go from the 49-yard line. Eric Brown, the former Giant, goes in motion. Again to the left side, they go with Means, and he kind of picks and jabs his way down to the 47 and picks up 4.
Would you say he's bobbing and weaving a little bit today?
There's a little bit of that. Keith Hamilton makes the stop.
He's trying to find a place to cut her back, which made him so famous last year. Watches running. He looks there. Bob's in there. Oh, it's nice one. Slithered up through inside. And there's a tough job on your middle linebacker. There's Corey Whitmer trying to figure out, is he going outside or coming back? So he's got to play behind him. Corey Whitmer cannot overrun him.
Second down and 6 for Steve Matthews on his 3rd NFL season. Gets it out to Ty Halleck, fullback who won a position, but last year played tight end, fullback, and a little bit of linebacker, too. Plays a special teams. Tackle made by Corey Whitmer. Alec played at Michigan State and came here in a trade with Detroit back in '95.
Well, it's a good thing Corey Whitmer made that, because they ran a strong safety blitz that leaves you all man-to-man. He's going to come down and blitz, and so when they throw it, he's got to be by himself. He is the Lone Ranger in the open field.
He needs Tano probably on this one, doesn't he?
Watch what he does. What a great tackle. Good play by Corey. You can't just say Corey when you're doing the Giants talking about the linebackers.
Got a couple of Corys.
They got dual Corys.
3rd down and 8. Matthews operating from the shotgun, leading 20-7. And he throws across the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for a crossing Keenan McCardell. And 4th down coming up. The punting unit will come on, and Seahorn in the defense once again hold Jacksonville.
And Strahan, you talked about, had such a good game. Now he's going against a big man. Used to play for the Steelers, Miami, Leon Searcy. Oh, a little jab to the face, a little push and shove. Searcy will keep on working and keep on trying, but he's going against a large person.
He's pretty large himself. Here's a punt by Brian Barber. Monty Toomer is back, and this will be caught at the 6-yard line by Reggie Barlow, the punt returner, who is on the opposite end of his own teammate's punt right there. A 43-yard boot by Barker.
All right, he's able to catch that because they were avoiding it. If a Giant was trying to catch the ball, then your Jacksonville player cannot come down and catch his own punt. But the fact they weren't around it, he's legally allowed to field his own punt.
Good interpretation. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It all starts with America's most watched pregame show. Then catch the Cardinals taking on the Redskins and the Rams clashing against the Broncos, or other regional action. Coverage beginning at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on the Fox Television Network. Tony Banks and the Rams losing today to San Francisco. Worst beginning field position from the 6-yard line. 1st and 10, handoff Tiki Barber. And he breaks one tackle, but that slowed him up just enough to bring him down, and he only picks up a yard as Aaron Beasley chopped him down from the corner.
And it's a good thing Eric Beasley did that, because Jacksonville's in a blitz, and a nice run by Tiki to break it outside. Watch the blitz. Both linebackers blitzing up inside. Oh, if he didn't get the tackle, Tiki could have had a big play.
Barber only has 10 carries and 13 yards today. 2nd down and 8. And right on the money is Brown as he hits Chris Callaway. A 1st down at the 26, a pickup of 18 yards. Dion Figures makes the stop.
Good job by the quarterback. He was getting some pressure from Clyde Simmons. Good throw. And he loves to throw to Callaway. They're in a bound. Watch Clyde Simmons going against Oben. And Oben did a good job finishing the play. Oben did not surrender. Stayed right with his man.
1st down and 10. Couple tight ends for quarterback Dave Brown, who throws, and what a knockdown at the very end by Aaron Beasley, a 2nd-year defensive back out of West Virginia, a 3rd-round pick last year, starting as a rookie, even more seasoned as a 2nd-year player. He did a great job covering Toomer down the sideline.
Well, when Dave Brown threw this, I didn't think there was much chance, but watch Beasley. He keeps his head back, and swats the ball down. Boy, that's a nice play. It's hard to run fast when you're looking over your inside shoulder and put your hands on the ball. What a nice play.
2nd down and 10. Wayne Barber in the backfield. Brown whacked as he went back to throw it on his back. Kelvin Pritchett stuck him. Former #1 pick by the Dallas Cowboys, all over Dave Brown.
Well, you can't throw a fake screen and then throw back inside when they're all over your quarterback. No chance at all. Watch the pressure on Dave Brown right up the middle. Jurkovic just right there instantly. The guard took out Stone, probably left a little bit soon for the screen. No chance for the quarterback on that play.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 10. Tiki Barber in the backfield. 4 receivers deployed by Dave Brown. Play clock down to a 2nd. A high snap to Brown. Here they come again, and down he goes. The 1st sack today by Jacksonville, Joel Smengi.
And what they showed the quarterback, these people are all man-to-man. He's pointing at him. You got the back man-to-man with 2 free safeties over the top. So it's called 22-man, man-to-man. Stay on you all like a glove. But I got deep help over the top of you, and the quarterback had nowhere to go for the ball, and that caused a sack.
Here are the last 6 possessions for the Giants. Fumble, punt, punt, fumble, punt, punt. High snap to Maynard. He's been a busy kid today, the rookie has. Reggie Barlow is deep back, waving for the fair catch, and is interfered with momentarily, but does finally make the grab at the 42-yard line. 38-yard punt. Brandon Sanders was down there and looked like he even may have been pushed into the return man Barlow. Jacksonville gets it. Look at Jesse Armstead coming off a great game last week. A little bit quiet today. The Giants trailing 20-7. Armstead, of course, was in the papers a lot this week, not only for his great play last week against Philadelphia, but going back to an early August preseason game at the Meadowlands when he came down and hit Mark Brunell while rushing the quarterback. There was no fine. There was no penalty flag, but there were some thoughts on Giants players' part that perhaps there'll be some revenge in the minds of some of the Jacksonville players. We've seen some pushing and shoving, but nothing that has drawn a flag. So that's where we stand with that story. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Matthews hands off. Natron Means takes it to the 48-yard line with the gain of 6. Tackle made in the secondary by Thomas Randolph.
Now here's something the Giants done. They're running an 8-man 46 defense. He's going to walk up. They got all these, count all these people they got. That means we're going to make you throw. You cannot run. And Natron finds a hole against that 8-man front. That drives a defensive coach crazy.
2 tight ends once again in for Jacksonville. 2nd down and 4. 7.5 to play halfway through this 3rd quarter. Means again in the backfield. Means again gets the call. And there he goes. Natron Means. An ankle tackle by rookie Sam Garnes is the only thing that stopped him as Means chugs for 18 yards and a Jacksonville 1st down.
Well, he's limping now. He thinks his knee is hurt, but he bounces this like he did for the touchdown play. It's a run force. Sam Garnes, another rookie, strong safety, walking up. He bounces out there, and the safety missed the force, missed turning it in. It was Tito Wooten who walked up and missed the tackle.
Means was working on an ankle and a knee back in the 1st half, and he's gone out again. James Stewart has come back in, 3rd-year back out of Tennessee, and a former #1 pick by Jacksonville. He takes it down to the 29-yard line before he's again stopped by Sam Garnes. There they're working on Means.
Well, Means was limping early. In fact, he went in before the half saying that he strained a knee or did something. I think that'll probably be it for the day. And Stewart looks fresh. Stewart came in and looked quicker than Means on that last cutback run.
It's a nice option to have, isn't it?
And they like Stewart. It's just that Natron's so good. They dropped. Remember last year, Stewart started the first half.
He beat him out in training camp. You're right. 2nd down and 4 from the 28-yard line, and that ball batted and on the carry caught by Stewart, who is close to a 1st down for Jacksonville at the 23-yard line of the Giants, as Means tries to shake off the bruised knee.
Some days it's your day, and right now everything they do is coming out roses. Keith Hamilton is a bull charge for, and nice job swatting the ball, and they catch the ricochet. You know it's not your day when they're catching the ricochets.
And he did pick up the 1st down, and a tremendous advantage for Jacksonville in that category. 1st down and 10 yards to go. 20-7, Jaguars on top, and this is James Stewart again, slicing his way for a gain of 3 near the 20-yard line. And brought down by Chad Branscombe, overachieving 4th-year player from Eastern Kentucky.
And you haven't called his name much today, and we love the way Bratsky plays, but he's going against Tony Basilla, who a lot of people think maybe he went to Pro Bowl last year. Here's a guy, Basili, who playing left tackle over Bratsky. By the way, he's proud father, new baby son, Andrew, 1 month old yesterday. But he thought he'd have his toughest battles against Brodsky because Brodsky just works so hard.
2nd down and 7, a conventional 4-man rush for the Giants. They hand off to Ty Halleck, 2nd carry of the season, and he gets a gain of about a yard down near the 19-yard line.
Spread the formation that time. Tried to get the Giants to spread out with him, then just run a draw in there, but the Giants were not buying it.
There's a look at Means. Armstead going out.
It's like he has a cramp the way he's holding his toe there, like he's cramping up.
The thing Armstead told us yesterday, if anybody understands a knee injury, just finishing up on this Armstead story, he does. He had a knee injury at Miami, dropped down to the 8th round. A lot of people overlooked it because they thought that the knee would not be what it once was. 3rd down and 5, and time expired as the flag is thrown, and probably delay a game against Jacksonville, which would have been the first call today on the new quarterback.
Offense number 12, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Still 4th down, he said. It's 3rd down. Got the crowd going on that one. He says it's still 4th down.
4th penalty on Jacksonville. At this time last year, Jerry, Jacksonville was worried about, as they work on Armstead, it looks like a cramp. Looks like he correctly diagnosed that, Dr. Glenn.
I can diagnose from 250 yards away.
It's pretty good. Last year, turnovers and penalties were killing Jacksonville, and they're trying to get away from those things, get a cleaner start out of the blocks this season.
Really wanted to emphasize the run more than ever, to not have to throw the ball, but to do an excellent job throwing the ball.
3rd and 10 pass is caught by Jimmy Smith, but Randolph read it well, and he is short of the 1st down, so they're going to try for 3. So the Giants hold the Jacksonville offense to just a field goal attempt. They've gone at Randolph a lot. And Hollis will take the field, and he's already kicked a 52-yarder just before halftime, and he's had a great day. 2 of 2 so far kicking with about 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
Brian Parker to hold. Mike Hollis, a 36-yard attempt.
How about a number 1 on a kicker? I've never seen a kicker wearing a number 1. They usually wear a 3 for a field goal. He wants extra points.
35-yard attempt by Hollis. And from 35 yards, he is perfect. So an 18-yard run by Means sets up a 35-yard field goal. Now 23 unanswered points for the Jaguars, leading the Giants. Jaguars have scored 5 of their last 7 possessions. They've scored 23 unanswered points as they continue to look at Jesse Armstead injuring a knee and leg on this play.
Watch Jesse's left leg as he gets a helmet driven right into him. Chad Bratsky trying to get in on the play. Got the back end of Jesse's leg.
Mike Hollis just kicked a 35-yard field goal, and so he'll set the kickoff from the 30-yard line. Deep back is Thomas Lewis for the Giants. And updating the Ike Hilliard story, taken to a hospital not far from the stadium. Under observation right now with a neck injury and a first quarter catch of 23 yards. Lewis from the 1-yard line, and for one of the few times today the ball's not gone into the end zone, and he cuts outside and belted out of play by Mike Logan. Goes to the 27-yard line, and the Giants will have it when we come back. Plenty of time left, 2.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville at the commanding 23-7 lead.
Zoom air.
Giants led initially 7-0 on a Tiki Barber 4-yard touchdown run, but since that time they have struggled in 1 touchdown, 7 punts, 2 fumbles. Last 6 possessions, 2 fumbles, 4 punts. They've run 32 plays. This is number 34 right here, number 33 right here, and the pass is caught by Tiki Barber, and it gains about 7 yards. For a McDonald's game break, let's return back to our Fox Television Center, and here's James Brown.
Kevin and Jerry, the cuticles on the foot of John Casey. Sharp today. 3 field goals, including that game winner as time expired. A 39-yarder as Carolina baseball scores victory over Atlanta 9-6. Back to Kevin, and Doc was wearing Jerry.
I got my Dockers on.
Thank goodness. And penalty flags on that 2nd and 3.
False start. Offense prior to the snap.
And it's called on the New York Giants.
5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Called on Greg Bishop, a starter at left tackle a year ago, moved to left guard this year with number 72 Roman Oben, now emerging as the starter at the left side.
Left guard is the man they call the penalty on, and he left a little bit early.
Second down and 8 from the 30-yard line. Barber in motion out of the backfield. Way remains, and the throw goes across the middle to the tight end, Howard Cross. Close to a first down up near the 37-yard line of the Giants. And the tackle was made on the play by Tony Brackens.
And this is what Jacksonville, they're going to run an X blitz. And that's what they do. They leave the inside open for the pass. Brown reads it. There's the X blitz. Way picking up the blitzing backer. And when that happens, there's nobody in the middle, and Cross makes the catch. Nice job by the Giants reading what's happening.
Bob Zadiska has come in as a tackle eligible. Brown looks like he's having a hard time getting the play.
Remember how they were saying how quick they were getting the plays off, and they always had the call ready to go. Now Brown can't get a play.
Flag has been thrown.
Play, offense. Number 17, 5-yard
Brown
penalty.
thinks they did something on the clock, but
Still third down.
He was arguing, as is Jim Fossa, that they didn't reset the clock.
probably did not. The officials let the play clock run off from the last play. Absolutely. Dave Brown's correct.
They don't agree with you.
Yeah. Jurkovic's laughing about it. He says, boy, that was good.
So instead of 3rd and 1, it now becomes 3rd down and 6. And the Giants have not converted a 3rd down all day. They're 0-7 in that category. Lewis is in, Toomer and Callaway as the receivers. Brown is in the shotgun. They got Callaway in motion to the top of your screen. Brown sets up, and he's got the open receiver. Barber's got the first down into Jacksonville territory. A wonderful pass by Brown all the way to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 29.
Well, remember when I said they played 22-man, man-to-man, 2 free safeties? They changed their mind and go man-to-man here with the free safety away. So he does an arrowing up, and there's nobody to help him. A little rub and pick from the inside. And you wonder why they go away from 22-man where they were shutting the Giants down to line up and play with. That's called an 11 coverage. And that's not good football.
They mark him out at the 39, not the 32. And here goes Brown. Almost the same play, but this time to a different receiver. This is Callaway, and there goes a flag on Dion Figures, who is covering the veteran Callaway down the sideline. It'll be against the Jacksonville Jaguars as Figures, the only free agent signed in the offseason from Pittsburgh, is again called. He was beaten for 2 touchdowns last week, made 2 interceptions as well. It's somewhat of an up-and-down performance a week ago against Baltimore.
And only playing in the nickel, not a starter.
Defense number 27. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul.
Well, the fact he was looking back, I'm surprised they flagged him. He kept his head looking back towards the quarterback, but he is hindering his way to Chris Callaway. Was getting pushed a little bit hindered there.
So 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Brown and the Giants trailing 23-7. Guns a pass into the end zone. Touchdown. 8-yard touchdown reception by Chris Callaway. He had a touchdown last week against Philadelphia, and the Giants have closed the gap with 30 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter.
And a nice throw. They called a double dig with the inside man, tried to clear it out, and Callaway on the back. It's called the baseline of the end zone. Going for 2 on this play. They're not going to kick here. But a nice route, nice throw, nice catch. That's a lot of nices in it.
It's too bad the person saying it isn't so nice. Trying for the 2-point conversion after the touchdown pass to Callaway, and there's a tackle offside.
Scott Gregg, was a toss sweep with Scott Gregg leading on the toss flip, and he left without the ball.
Start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty.
Watch Scott Gregg, right tackle from the University of Montana. He's on 1 count. The rest of the team's on the 2 count, and he's leaving. He's going for the toss sweep.
And it's not necessarily loud in this building today.
No, that was not caused by a loud. That was caused by not count. He didn't get the count. Can't leave the huddle without the count.
Well, it makes it a little bit more difficult now to get the 2-point conversion. They're pushed all the way back to their 8 instead of at the 2. Lucky Brooks becomes another nickelback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The blitz is on Brown, throws it, and broken up by the aforementioned Dion Figures, who jumped in and knocks it away. It's incomplete, so the Giants just get 6, but they were looking for anything to get out of their offensive doldrums. A 32-yard pass to Barber and an 8-yard touchdown pass to Callaway.
First man's going to dig. He's going to go to the baseline and dig and try to collapse these people on the first cut so Brown can throw. The second man, no underneath. Nice catch. Callaway. And we asked him, who would you throw to if the game's on the line? He said Callaway. The first receiver, the slot man, has to go across. That's Toomer. He has to go across, clear it out.
And then on the 2-point conversion,
they ran a blitz, sent everybody after the quarterback, and then Dion Figures, the man that got called for the pass interference, got his hand in. Watch him get his hand in and get the ball out of there. Nice job.
And it was Figures, you may recall, who was beaten on that penalty, covering Callaway, and so Figures gets a bit of redemption here. Nonetheless, the Giants get 6. It's 23-13, and it stops a parade of 23 unanswered points by Jacksonville. We're going to see Brad Deluiso kick off with 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. There's plenty of time left.
Absolutely.
We just don't know. We don't get a good feel about how good the Giants are in scoring a lot of points. And last week they scored 31, which was a ton, but they never played from really behind like Philadelphia had to. Well, today they've had to play from behind. We'll see how that offense operates in that kind of environment.
And don't forget, last week they scored on special teams and defense. That was a couple touchdowns.
It's a good point. Willie Jackson goes to a knee. It's a touchback in Jacksonville with 22 seconds to play in the third quarter. Will take it to the 20-yard line. That's the third touchback by Deluiso.
He can kick off. I had him when I was in the Atlanta Falcons. We brought him because he could kick off. He wasn't an excellent field goal kicker then. I think he's matured into being an excellent field goal kicker also, but he could always kick off. In fact, one year with the Buffalo Bills, he just kicked off and did nothing else.
Well, the Jets have a kid named John Hall out of Wisconsin. Of course, he was brought in for kind of the same purpose that Deluiso was, for that big, strong leg and those long kickoffs. Jacksonville begins it, first down and 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line, and the handoff goes to Natron Means, back in there after he had the knee injury and running for a gain of about a yard. Stockpiled. Ray Agnew was there, and also Keith Hamilton making the stop.
I get the feeling they're trying to play Natron Means into shape and conditioning. I get a feeling, well, everything that's going on, they're just going to keep on leaving him in there until he works himself into being in condition.
Leon Searcy is down looking at his right calf. The highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL taking a look at that right calf. Now, Armstead may have had...
That looks like 5 calves.
Look at
the size of that
looks
thing.
like my waist.
No, your waist is a lot bigger than that.
I'm glad you noticed. 6 seconds to play in the third quarter, and there's Leon Searcy, who came here. In fact, when he signed with this team as an unrestricted free agent from the Steelers, a lot of general managers around the league kind of raised their eyebrows. They couldn't believe a team was giving an offensive lineman that much money.
He's the left tackle. Oh, pardon me. He's the right tackle. He's the right tackle. And you can't see where he got hurt there. He may be cramping up too from a, been sweating all day, not enough fluid. Look at those. Look at the size of those legs.
Size of that stomach. Yeah. He hasn't missed too many meals, has he?
No, he hadn't. I'd rather pay him than feed him.
Brian DeMarco will take his place. There you see Brian, who was in a battle at the right guard position in preseason with Rich Tilsky. A battle that he lost. And the Jaguars will let the clock run down, and the third quarter has come to a close. But New York is given a little bit of life as they get an 8-yard touchdown pass to Callaway. In his first NFL start, though, the story has been Steve Matthews, who leads Jacksonville to a 23-13 lead as we go to the fourth quarter here in North Florida.
The sizzling season.
Christian Peter is back in there. He's played a handful of plays today, making his debut in the NFL. They put Cedric Jones on the inactive list today. Jones got hit in the knee last week by Joe Panos of Philadelphia in somewhat of a controversial play against the Eagles. Peter has played, has made no tackles, but has been in on a couple of assisted plays. We begin the fourth quarter here in Jacksonville with Jerry Glanville. This is Kevin Harlan as Jim Fossil takes a look at his offense's next series of plays following this upcoming series by the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2nd down and 9 as we start the 4th. Couple tight ends in there. Brown along with Griffith. Brown is in motion. And 5 seconds remained on the clock, but the flag was thrown. So
have to be illegal movement before the ball snaps.
Offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, still
Ben
2nd
Coleman,
down.
left guard.
Who is about as steady an offensive lineman as this line has.
And he's bigger than anybody has. And in fact, Tony Basile told me he is the best athlete on the offensive line.
Him as a player off the waiver wire when he was cut by Buddy Ryan in Arizona.
I think getting cut by Buddy Ryan means you probably got a pretty good career ahead of you. He's got a lot of good ones.
2nd down and 14. 23-13 Jacksonville. Couple tight ends in there again for Matthews and Brown. One of those tight ends in motion. Here goes Means. Showing in a row back from that twisted knee. He's out to the 21-yard line. Gain of 5.
I notice he limps going back to the huddle, but when he has the ball, he has one of these things where he has the ball, the limp leaves. So it's a.
What's that tell you?
That tells you that he's probably more tired than anything else. I love the coaches, though. I think they're just going to play him until his tongue looks like a necktie.
3rd down and 9. Steve Matthews making his NFL starting debut today. Stewart at his side. You see the play clock. Cardell comes in motion. Matthews moves up and throws to Stewart. He's got to get to the 30, and he is tackled with a nice open field tackle by former Jacksonville Jaguar Robert Massey. He was cut at the end of the preseason. A 9-year veteran quickly gobbled up by the Giants, makes a tackle right there and forces Jacksonville to punt.
And that's an excellent open field tackle. And you can tell here the Jaguars are playing it safe. They're trying to run the clock, not going to push the ball down the field. They think Stewart's a good receiver, but he can't get away from Robert Massey. Excellent open field tackle.
Another punt coming up for Brian Barker, the former Kansas City Chief and Philadelphia Eagle, and he rockets this one downfield, and Amani Toomer back at the 11-yard line for the Giants. And he gets crawling to the 22-yard line. And some more shoving after the play. 63-yard punt by Barker. Well, the Giants scored the last time they had it. Let's see if they can continue. They trail by 10. 13:31 to play here in the 4th quarter. There you take a look at Dave Brown, who trails Jacksonville 23-13. Brown's coming off a touchdown drive with a touchdown pass, and he hopes to continue in that same vein. On the 23-yard line, 1st down and 10 yards to go. 2 in the backfield, fake handoff to Barber. He flings it outside for Way, and he bobbles the ball and drops it incomplete at the 20-yard line. Kevin Hardy was in the vicinity, number 51.
Well, it's funny with this situation. They're back to 2-back set play action pass. I thought maybe they'd go to a 2-minute offense, but all kinds of pressure right over Stone, the guard. Looks like Jurkovic. Jurkovic's ripping up underneath. Schmingy's there. Everybody's after the quarterback. They know he's got to throw, so the play action fake here is sort of not doing any good. The fake's not slowing anybody down.
2nd down and 10. Quick count and a quick throw, and it's grabbed across the way by Thomas Lewis. And he picks up 7. His first reception today. Thomas Lewis, number 1 pick 4 years ago out of Indiana.
Real quick throw. This is how you protect your quarterback from getting sacked. 1-2 throw. Watch out. It's a 3-step drop. Watch the quarterback. 1, 2, 3. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Throw. Can't sack him.
Now from the shotgun formation on 3rd and 3 from the 30. Brown, pretty good time in the pocket, goes for his second receiver right through the hands of Chris Callaway as Brown threw into a thicket of Jacksonville defenders. 3 and out for the Dave Brown-led New York Giants offense.
You said thicket. What they tricked him. They had a 4-down lineman, and then they take Brackens, the defensive end, and back him up. And they got all the holes covered, and Brown looks around. Boy, everybody's covered. Lucky he didn't get it picked off. They went from a 4-man line to a 3-man line, played 5 short zones underneath. There was nowhere to throw the football.
Brad Maynard has had a good day punting, the rookie for the Giants. And this is kind of an end-over-end kick to Reggie Barlow from the 31-yard line, and he goes out to the 37. And more shoving after the play, and this one involves Sanders on the far side. And he has got to be separated. Jaguars get it, leading by 10 and 12, 36 to play in North Florida.
John.
Here in Jacksonville, they don't believe in taking a rest, and so they got Tilsky, who is working on the sideline on an exercise bike to keep those legs and muscles limber between plays. And
I thought he was trying to get home early. I thought he was trying to get on a bike and get out of here.
First down and 10 yards to go from the 37-yard line. Matthews going deep and looking for Smith. And he makes the catch at the Giant 22-yard line. Randolph was covering. Randolph made the tackle. It's a gain of 41.
And what he did, Jimmy Smith did a hitch step in the middle of the route. He was running, then he did a hitch step and then took off. It's unusual. He's on Randolph. And there he slows down and then he takes off. He looks like he misjudged it and then took off again. And Randolph, hey, I've been working on Randolph all day.
First down and 10 yards to go from the 22-yard line, and Matthews hands off to Means, who is stopped in the backfield. Harris was there. Wooten was penetrating, and off the bottom of the pile comes Marcus Buckley, number 55. Robert Harris came from the Vikings and joined the Giants a couple years ago.
And one thing that's probably gone unnoticed with this game, I think Robert Harris has played as good a football game as we've seen him play. He's been after the run. He's been real good on the pass, and much improved football player. If I'm looking for something different on the Giants, I think Harris has grown into a good-time football player.
A lot of players like that. 5 tackles today by Harris. Second down. And there go the flags. 4 seconds remain on the clock, so it wasn't delay a game. There was some movement.
I think it's Ben Coleman again. We got the bragging on Ben Coleman.
False start. Offense number 62 prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty.
We
Still
said Ben
down.
was the biggest guy out there. If you're that big, you can't sneak off sides. When that much moves, everybody sees it. Keith Hamilton's going to shot.
Well, they were at the 22. Now they're pushed back just inside the 32. It's second down and 19 with the penalties. Ellsworth and Massey become extra defensive backs for the Giants. As Matthews will set, dumps it off. Back by Stewart. There goes a flag, and there goes James Stewart down to the 22-yard line.
He fenced the screen real well. I don't know what he called illegal man downfield on the screen. Lyman got downfield. He missed that the last time. He caught him that time. I hope it wasn't Ben Coleman again.
If it is, we're not going to mention his name the rest of
No, no. Big Ben and his mother will be writing me a
Number
letter.
79, offense downfield prior to the snap of pass. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, second down.
Center Dave Wydell.
Oh, that's good. Ben Coleman's from Wake Forest. There's not too many offensive linemen in the National Football League from Wake Forest. We had a center last week, Mayberry with Tampa Bay. Here's a guy that's real intelligent, real cerebral.
Oh, they were down at the 21. Now it's second and 24 from the 36 of the Giants. 4 receivers platoon. Matthews will get some blocking help from Means, and the pass downfield is incomplete off the fingertips of Willie Jackson. Cutting across the middle, he had a linebacker on him, and he also had Thomas Randolph in the vicinity.
Well, you asked me earlier, how come all the quarterbacks play well here? Well, watch this big man. That's Tony Basile on what we think is an excellent football player. Bratsky got the left hand on his face. Now he's got him on his shoulder. He's trying to rip. He's too big to rip. Push him by the quarterback. I think one reason the quarterbacks play well are the parts that are protecting them are pretty good, and the receivers are excellent.
How about Matthews' day?
I think he's surprised even himself.
3rd and 24 now for Matthews from the shotgun formation. Throws, and the pass caught. And the reception made by Keenan McCardell, a gain of 12, but shy of the first down. They needed to get all the way to the 12, and McCardell moves the football to just inside the 25.
But an excellent play, because this puts him in a field goal range. This is a good catch, because what they're doing here is getting in field goal range. Running an inside pattern, shaking away from man-to-man coverage. Good throw, good catch to put your kicker in a position to get some more points.
Hollis is 3 of 3 on field goals today from 29, 52, and 35 yards. This one will be a 42-yard attempt. High snap to Barber, and that kick is perfect. Jacksonville extends their lead with 9:43 to play here at the former Gator Bowl. It's Jacksonville 26 and the Giants 13.
Roll on. High snap. Watch Barker. Look at his head. Never picks as he gets a high snap. Holders have a tendency to look up and carry the ball. His eyes stayed right down on the ground, right on the spot. Excellent hold, good kick.
Hollis gets his 4th field goal today. His long has been from 52. He just knocked in a 42-yard field goal, and he has it teed up at the 30-yard line. Hollis has had 2 touchbacks today. He had 2 all of last year, and they've been looking for extra length on these kickoffs, and this one will make it to the end zone. Yard deep. Thomas Lewis will take it out for the Giants. And he runs outside, and Lewis against Barlow, and Lewis still on his feet out to the 33-yard line. Knocked out of bounds by Bucky Brooks after a return to 34 yards. Let's go back to our Fox Television studios in Hollywood. This McDonald's game break and James Brown.
Kevin and Jerry, a 19-play drive over 80 yards, a 4th and goal for Philadelphia. Pump fake. Ty Detmer finds Freddie Solomon back in the end zone. The point after is good. 10-9 Eagles. Less than 2 to play. Green Bay, though, at midfield. Back to Kevin and Jerry.
I remember that Monday night game last year where Green Bay beat them 37-13 up at Lambeau. Not today.
When you got their quarterback and their receivers, it's not over there with 2 minutes either.
Brown hit as he throws. 1st and 10 pass. What a catch across the way by Amani Toomer. With Hilliard at the hospital with the bad neck. Toomer's first catch today produces a 19-yard gain.
And he went up for this one. Went up for a high ball. You got to make good catches for your quarterback. Fakes the inside. Comes back out on it's called a burst out. Nice catch. Catch it all with his hands.
1st down and 10 for Brown. Great time in the pocket. His receiver found. He's picked off. Brown is picked off. Intercepted by Travis Davis, who returns it all the way back to the 47-yard line. It's Brown's first interception this year. And a flag has been thrown at the 48-yard line where the tackle was made of Travis Davis.
Travis Davis was a running back at Notre Dame his junior year.
Personal foul on New York, number 17.
Personal foul on the Giants.
Unnecessary roughness. An additional 15
So here's a guy being converted from a running
spot.
back to a DB. Comes out, makes another big play. Made big plays last week, and an excellent hitter.
The receiver fell on this play. And I think that's what Brown was telling Fossil.
Yeah, he fell right. That was Callaway. Callaway tripped and fell.
So the return of Travis Davis was out to the 48. The penalty against the Giants moves it down to the 38-yard line of New York. With 8:48 to play in the 4th quarter. Leon Searcy back in as the tackle. DeMarco is playing the guard. Natron Means in the backfield, and the Jaguars lead this one 26-13. Come up with a big pick off of Dave Brown of the Giants. Handoff goes to Means. And then he is leapt on by Robert Harris and Chad Bransky coming in for the tackle after Means picks up 4 yards.
Well, a good job by Wooten that time. Tito came up and turned that play in. That's the same play they broke earlier when Tito didn't make the play, but he came in and made that play go up inside.
A lot of young guys in that secondary.
A lot of happy faces on that Jacksonville bench.
2nd down, a long 6, ball just inside the 35 of the Giants. Matthews, great time after the play fake, looks for his second receiver, and it's bobbled by Derek Brown, the tight end, a former Giant tight end. Incomplete. And a flag is thrown at the 11-yard line, a late flag. Giants had double coverage on Brown out of the wingback position.
Excellent pass protection during that throw by Leon Searcy, the right tackle.
Personal foul. Defense. Unnecessary roughness after the pass was obviously not catchable. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Giants have been killed by two gigantic penalties on this Jacksonville possession.
And this penalty is on their young safety. Guy that made the big play last week. Number 20, Sam Garnes, plays over. Oh, boy. He didn't hit him. He didn't smack him. Sort of ran into him.
Giants have had two 15-yard penalties against them since the interception. One on the interception return and one on that play right there. So a timeout taken. Jacksonville on the move with a comfortable 26-13 lead. We've got 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
John Tyler.
Jacksonville today has gotten a couple of touchdown runs, one by Means, one by Stewart, 4 field goals, including a 52-yarder. And they've gotten an unbelievable performance from young Steve Matthews, making his first career start today. Picked up on waivers off of Kansas City's wire 2.5 weeks ago. On the 20-yard line, first down and 10. The handoff goes to Means, and he keeps chugging away down near the 17. And he picks up about 2.5 on the play. Jerry, on this particular possession by Jacksonville, or really since the interception, 2 big-time penalties against the Giants, 7 all told. That matches their high of last year.
Well, I saw that one by on Sam, you know, and I really didn't think that was a penalty type hit there. They were just ending up in the same spot. But 7 penalties, that's more than anybody wants to live with. I know that.
Second down and 8. Looks like Matthews might be audibilizing. Play clock is down to 3, and he gets it off in time after changing the play at the line and finds the open receiver. And it's caught. Keenan McCardell close to a first down at the Giant 9-yard line.
It is a first down, Kevin.
He got it by the length of a football. He picks up 9 in the pass play.
What a day this guy's having. And when we talked to him, he said, I really don't know much of what we're doing. He said, I know about 14 plays. That's all I know.
Half the playbook.
Well, they've had to write 14 today, haven't they?
Yeah, look at those numbers. 22 of 34. Sacked only 1 time. The line has given him a great deal of time to throw. First down and goal to go from the 9. Means in the backfield. Means gets the call. Searcy had the block, and down to the 5. Natron Means with the gain of 4.
And there was an example of Natron. The play was supposed to go over the right guard or the center, and he almost comes to a complete stop and restarts and slides out to his right. He's going to come in here. He doesn't like it, and watch him bounce. Don't like that. Don't like that. I'm going to go over here. And that makes it tough to play as a defensive team. Not only defensive line, but linebackers. Everybody's got to stay at home. And that's hard to do when you want to go gang tackle.
On the 5 now. Second down and goal to go. 26-13. Jacksonville. Means gets a block. Breaks a tackle. He'll saunter in for a touchdown. Natron Means his second touchdown run today, and for the Jaguars, a 32-13 lead with just under 6 minutes to play.
Well, he'll have to split that game ball he's going to get with that wide receiver. That wide receiver made an excellent block downfield at the goal line to get him in the end zone. I believe it was Jimmy Smith.
Means now 3 rushing touchdowns on the season. At number 33, Stewart, he had a touchdown dive earlier in the game. And the Jaguars lead it 32-13. Mike Hollis will try the extra point on the Barker hole. That's good. Hollis has been perfect today. 4 of 4 field goals and all those extra points. And the Giants find themselves down 33-13 with 5:56 on the fourth quarter clock.
Jimmy Smith, wide receiver, turns in the blocker on this touchdown. Here's Jimmy Smith. He's going to bounce it like he has all day, and watch Jimmy Smith block. Try to break his guy in the end zone all over the corner. Robert Massey having to fight off the split end. Cannot come in and make the tackle.
Well, the Jaguars looking for their 7th consecutive regular season win and their 7th consecutive win at home going back to last season.
Well, they have a nice home atmosphere here. They got this thing sold out, got a new stadium. We can see the river from here. Kind of nice down here. I'd like to have you move down here and stay down here.
Well, I might send you up that river. What about the Giants now, Jerry, as we see Jacksonville's drive? Giants in 12 possessions have been held half of those without a first down.
Well, I was surprised on the last possession that they did not go 2 minute. Now they have to, of course, now they have to go 2 minute. They were doing a 2-back formation, doing a play action pass, and nobody was honoring any fake to the run. Bottom line is you got to throw to catch up, so let it go.
A couple big penalties on that particular drive by the New York Giants. Really sustained the drive of Jacksonville. And Means goes in from 5 yards. Here's the kickoff. A yard deep. Lewis loses it, goes to a knee, but then his foot hit the goal line. Well, they say not, and he comes back out. I'll have to look at that once again. He was very, very close.
What a job the kicker's done. You emphasized earlier he had 2 in the end zone all last year, and they're all going in there this year.
There is a flag across the way on the 17-yard line.
Personal foul on receiving team after the ball was dead. Penalize half the distance. First down.
8th penalty. They didn't have 8 penalties in any one game last year. This is the 3rd least penalized team in football. A year ago.
Well, I think they've lost their concentration. There's been a lot of shoving and pushing after every play, and when you got the youngest team in the league, you got to forget about the shoving and pushing and go back and get your concentration on playing.
Never before has a Jacksonville team scored this many points in one game. A franchise record. 5:48 to play in the 4th. Jacksonville leading 33-13 in the handoff. Tiki Barber for a gain of 4. Brought down by Clyde Simmons, the 12th-year veteran. And there's Barber as he holding on to an arm.
Well, they're trying to go no huddle, but the back has to get up so he cannot continue. He hurt something. Looks like he's holding his right elbow.
Already lost Hilliard, the #1 pick out of Florida, at the hospital with the neck. And here comes Charles Way back in the game. 2nd down 6. Jacksonville will counter with 6 defensive backs. Brown hit and sacked. Brought down. Clyde Simmons. Let's quickly go to our Fox Television studios and James Brown.
Kevin, here's how it broke down. Ryan Longwell, rookie out of Cal, a chance to win it for Green Bay, a 28-yarder. He misses it after making 3 earlier. Ray Rhodes' Eagles come away with the 10-9 victory. Kevin and Jerry.
You know, Brett Conway was the kid they drafted out of Penn State. He's on injured reserve. They pick up this kid off waivers from San Francisco, and he misses. That's his first miss as a pro, too. 3rd down 14 for Brown, going deep, and it's incomplete. Looking for Lewis. Running down the sideline. His coverage was applied by Bucky Brooks.
And Bucky Brooks had him stride for stride. One thing the Jacksonville Jaguars can do, they can run. Another flag on the Giants. Is that the 9th penalty today?
It is.
Number 78, hands to the face. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Greg Bishop penalized him for illegal use of hands. Refused the penalty because it's 4th down.
Maynard will punt. Reggie Barlow back at the 50-yard line. This kid's had a great day of punting. He's just seen a lot of action. He has seen a lot of punts. Another beauty. Barlow from the 50-yard line for Jacksonville. And there he goes. Reggie Barlow tackled inside the 30-yard line. That's a return of 22 yards. Barlow gives Jacksonville, again, great beginning field position.
First and 10 for Jaguars.
Well, tonight on Fox, Beyond Belief, coming up at 7 Eastern, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, and the X-Files.
I love the X-Files,
I know you do. Well, you belong in the X-Files. I can see why you like them. Means is going to trot off the field, and here, take a look at Dave Brown. New running back, Damon Shelton, who is a rookie out of Sacramento State, a 6th-round pick. 4.5 to play in this game. And the handoff goes to Shelton, who runs right into the quarterback. And truly, that's about the first miscue that Matthews has had.
Well, that may have been the running back's miscue.
Oh, exactly.
Right. They're all talking to each other. I think it was got 2 rookies in there that haven't played much.
2nd and 12 for Jaguars. The New York 29.
Give it to him again. Let him try one more time is what they'll do.
2nd down and 12 from the 30-yard line. Handoff goes. Shelton having ahead for a couple yards just outside the 27. And that will set up 3rd down and about 9.
I think a big story for the day is the Giants have a chance with Tiki and Ike Hiller. And you wonder how bad they're both injured.
All right, we welcome you all watching the Green Bay-Philadelphia game. Alltel Stadium, Jacksonville, Florida. With Jerry Glanville, this is Kevin Harlan. 3rd down and 10. It's a 33-13 Jacksonville lead. Means is back in the backfield. Steve Matthews, in his first professional start, zips a pass to the far side. Pass is caught for a 1st down by emerging star Jimmy Smith. It's a gain of 11 yards. Another Jacksonville 1st down.
And back to the out route. That's how he started the ball game, being able to throw the out route. We didn't think Jimmy Smith would get that much work because of the 13 quarterback. Well, he can throw the out on the short side of the field. He's on the boundary to the short side, which makes it a little easier throw, but it's still, and that's the throw they opened up with, and they're still throwing it with 3 minutes left, and the Giants haven't stopped the out route.
Rookie Shelton now back in as a fullback. 16-yard line, 1st down and 10 yards to go for Jacksonville. And Shelton again. Well, the Giants in this game took an initial 7-0 lead on a 4-yard touchdown run by Tiki Barber as they capitalized on a Jacksonville fumble. But then it was 23 unanswered points rattled off by Jacksonville. James Stewart had a 1-yard touchdown run here, which made it 10-7. And then Natron Means got it on this 9-yard touchdown run, made it 17-7. Means has since scored another touchdown. 4 field goals by Mike Hollis. And it's 33-13. 3 turnovers today by the New York Giants, who are coming off a nice win last week over the Philadelphia Eagles. 2nd down and 8. And handoff goes to Shelton. He gets as far as the 13-yard line, and that may be our last play before the 2-minute warning.
Bratsky's still in there doing his thing, which is always all-out effort, never surrender, never giving up. He's still fighting. But you wonder about the Giants. You wonder really how much they're improved over last year.
Time of possession, a big story here with Jacksonville. Almost 40 minutes to the Giants 18. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Jacksonville. The Jaguars looking to go 2-0.
Miller Lite presents.
Fox begins with Beyond Belief, followed by King of the Hill, The Simpsons, and the X-Files. It's all tonight beginning at 7, 6 Central, right here on the Fox television network. What a story. The young Steve Matthews, 2 years on the injured reserve at Kansas City. A 3rd-string quarterback last year behind Bono and Gannon in Kansas City. Waived before the end of the preseason. Picked up 2 weeks ago, Jerry. He starts and leads his team to a win today.
He could start tonight with James Brown and Beyond Belief.
3rd down, 7 yards to go. James Stewart inside the 5 and into the end zone for another Jacksonville touchdown. So Means has scored on 2 rushing touchdowns. Stewart has scored twice on the ground. And the Jaguars lead it 39-13 over the New York Giants.
Well, that wasn't pretty. That looked to me like some people weren't trying to make a tackle on that one, Kevin. I hope I'm wrong. But he waltzed in there too easy without somebody coming after him.
A lot of people were wondering how the Giants would deal with their sudden prosperity. A win over Philadelphia last week. Could they carry that same momentum into today? And I guess Jacksonville has answered.
I don't think 1 in a row was much streak. You still got to take a look at what you're getting done every single day.
Hollis with the point after. 40-13. The Jaguars looking for their 7th consecutive regular season win dating back to last year.
Here's the replay of the touchdown run. Oh, no wrap up by 29. That's Tito Wooten. He just headbutted him. Watch him stick his face in there. He didn't bring his arms. You got to bring your arms to make the tackle. He has no arms when he comes in here. He just sort of cringes, hits him with his nose. You got to wrap up with your arms. And 43. Whew. Don't believe they were trying to get him real hard, do you?
It looked like it. Jacksonville on top. Jacksonville has scored on 8 of their last 11 possessions. Folks, a reminder, after this game, we're going to send it back to the studios in Hollywood with James Brown and Terry. And the rest of the crew will go over all the highlights, all the scores up today. And what a day it was in week 2 of the NFL season. Philadelphia upsetting Green Bay, Tampa Bay going to 2-0 for the first time since 1994. Carolina winning late against Atlanta.
Does that mean Green Bay can't go undefeated then?
There's a lot of talk about that, wasn't there?
There sure was. I guess that ends that conversation.
Thomas Lewis deep back and awaits the Mike Hollis kick, who's had a great day kicking off. He's kicked a 52-yard field goal and 3 others from 29, 35, and 42 yards away. And the boot to Thomas. Lewis, who is inside the 5-yard line. Lewis went pretty good as he got out to the 23-yard line, and that sets up things for Dave Brown with a 1st and 10.
Did you ever think with your 3rd-string quarterback that you would score 40 points and lead the Giants 40-13?
And a franchise record in points, too. Never has a Jacksonville team ever scored 40 points in one game.
I'm going to try to get my son down here and be the next quarterback, because if I can get him down here to play, he'll maybe get a scholarship. I'm not so sure everybody can't play quarterback.
Which begs the question, is it the system or is it the quarterback?
I think it's the players he's surrounded by. Plus, it must be a pretty good system because everybody comes in and has career days.
1st and 10, screen pass caught by Tyrone Wheatley, who touches the ball for the first time this season. Earlier this week, he made headlines when he requested a trade, or so the press said.
His agent requested, not him.
But with Rodney Hampton on the shelf, still with the bad knee, and still a couple weeks from being back, they've had to rely on Barber, who left with an injury, and now Wheatley is in there. He picks up 16 on 1st down. Here's a 1st and 10 pass caught by tight end Howard Cross. He's out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
What a nice catch that was.
Stay tuned after our studio update tonight on Fox. Beyond Belief, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, then the X-Files, the award-winning X-Files at 9 Eastern out here on the Fox Television Network.
I love the X-Files. I wish I could do some games with the people who do the X-Files. I wish they could do the play-by-play with me.
2nd down and 2 for Dave Brown.
They're from another planet.
Some people tell me you are too. 2nd down and 2 as Brown sets up, throws to Wheatley, who had not spun around quickly enough, and the ball goes whistling by him. It'll be 3rd down.
Had the blitz on, had Travis Davis coming after Brown unblocked. He brought the ball out.
2 at the 48.
Giants have gone 1 of 10 on 3rd downs today. 3rd down 2 and trailing 40-13. Tyrone Wheatley, 1st down, and he goes to the 46-yard line of Jacksonville. Tackle made by Travis Davis as he picks up 6 yards. Wheatley, a #1 pick, and he was picked by the Giants. Dan Reeves really was wanting to go for Rashaan Salam, the Heisman Trophy winning running back with Colorado. They went with Wheatley. He had some injuries to kick off last season. He's been struggling ever since. And a pass by Brown almost picked off at the 40-yard line with the flag back at the 45.
That's in the spot where they sometimes call holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Greg Bishop on another holding. Left guard.
9th penalty against the Giants today.
Incomplete pass.
So it becomes first down and 20 to go with 50 seconds to play in the game. Brown setting up the screen, then just flies it away and across the far sideline. Joel Smingy was coming up and getting pressure on him. Complete pass. Today's game was produced by Jeff Gowen, directed by Joe Assetti. Studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Associate director today, Tony DeSanti. Broadcast associate, Clark Pierce. Special thanks to George O'Malley. Gary Lynn has been our spotter, and Pat McGrath has been our statistician. 2nd and 20 pass by Brown. Flings it off to Wheatley, who gets by one tackler, slips by another, and there comes a late flag as Wheatley is ushered out of bounds by Aaron Beasley at the 50-yard line. This game has gotten sloppy, Jerry, the longer it's gone. The first half really was almost penalty-free. Second half has been filled with yellow. Now the Giants.
Face mask. Defense. 5 yards. Repeat the down.
5 yards. You seldom see a 5-yard face mask penalty. Very unusual. Means he must have just had it on there just for a blip, just for a second. Most face masks are 15-yarders. Hadn't seen a 5-yard face mask in a long time. Must have just got on her and got off it instantly.
One last week against Sept when he brought down Jerry Rice. 15-yard. Wheatley remains in the backfield. Half-minute to play in this one with Jacksonville on top, commandingly 40-13. Brown throws, and it's dropped by Amani Toomer. Second-year wide receiver out of Michigan. Well, the Giants play only 3 teams who made the 1996 playoffs and have already beaten one, Philadelphia. They lose today to Jacksonville. Only Dallas remains in terms of playoff teams from a year ago in the next 11 games. Jacksonville, who will have a bye after this week, will take on Pittsburgh on Monday night here, and there is some outside hope that Mark Brunell might be ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers here on the 22nd.
Well, one thing, maybe Johnson will be back, but the way their quarterbacks play, maybe they'll be sure they're well. They don't have to hurry him.
3rd and 10, he flips it off to Wheatley, who takes it to the 40-yard line. That'll set up 4th down and about 4.5 yards to go. And that indeed might be the last play of the game.
Well, Wheatley's running heavy. He's trying to play hard. He hasn't had much chance, and he's trying to show the coach and everybody else, if I get in there, I will bring all my poundage with me.
0-0.
4th down, 4 to go. Gaines. Last play is it's a pass, a little swing pass out to Wheatley, who's ushered out of bounds. No time remains. No penalty flags on the play. And it's over, and the Jacksonville Jaguars go to 2-0 as they beat the Giants today 40-13. Jacksonville wins their 7th consecutive regular season game. What do you think of the young kid Matthews picked off waivers 2 weeks ago to lead him to a win today?
Unbelievable, and I think I want to play quarterback here. I think maybe I can do it. Everybody else is getting it done here.
All right, now for Jerry Glanville, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long from Jacksonville with the final score. The Jaguars 40, the Giants 13. We'll send you back to Hollywood with James Brown and some final thoughts after these messages.
Da, da, da.